I'm saying?
I like that.
Yeah, we figured things out around here.
All right.
Um, hella weird. I mean, if anything, this could be like the one that we do with training wheels on it, and then we can take the training wheels off for the next one.
You said what?
I said this could be the one with the training wheels on it. You know what I'm saying? Like we do the collab with the training wheels, and then we take the training wheels off the next time. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. I like that.
Yeah. So.
All right, I'm back.
All right, awesome. That's fucking awesome. All right, what's that you got around your neck right there, sister?
You said what?
What's that pendant you got around your neck?
This is the continent of Africa.
And why are you wearing that?
I actually love wearing it.
Word. I will. Before we get into it, let me make the let me get into introductions and stuff and all that, because I'm pretty much just freestyling this. You know, short notice. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see how I do with the questions, because prior, you know, I would usually like have my questions already prepared and all of this and that for my special guests. You know,
okay.
So but you know, we doing this on short notice, so I'm gonna just have to go off the dome.
All right.
I got questions from my meeting earlier today, though.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have a nice handwriting, by the way.
Stop playing. My handwriting is not nice.
It is nice. Well, to me, it is. It's a nice handwriting.
To you it is? That's cool. That's cool. All right. So so we're gonna get into introductions. This is a collaboration between none other than, you know, the great Brian James, the great, you know, otherwise known as Brian James.
Yes.
You know, if you've been following me, keeping up with my work, you know, I'm a business developer, you know, I'm a consultant, you know, I innovate businesses, you know, I put together teams to collaborate on projects, to do transformational work in the world. You know, the brother is young, black, and gifted and intelligent, you know what I'm saying, and on his way to, you know, the big money, making them M's. And I recently came across this YouTube subscriber, this lovely, beautiful YouTube subscriber. And her name is Sarah. And Sarah's going to actually tell the squad how we actually met and how this came together.
So I was actually just watching random videos on YouTube regarding wholesale real estate, and I was going through the comments, and I came across Brian's comments. And like what he was saying was just very like, it was very interesting, and it was like, oh my God, this is different, you know? So it caught my attention what he was saying to another YouTuber, but so I clicked this page and I went, to tell, like, he knows so much.
I'm cheesing over here.
Huh?
I'm cheesing over here. I didn't
know
that.
Seriously. So that's what made me contact him, like, oh my God, like, yeah, great. And you don't really find that much smart people out there. So, yeah, that's how we met.
That's how we met. So, Sarah, what intrigued you so much, you know, about my material?
The information that you had, it was different from everyone's information. It just caught my eye, like, it was meant for me to see that. Mm-hmm. I think that your comment was there for me to see, and happened at the right time, right moment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, anything else?
No,
Okay. All right, cool. That's what's up. All right, we'll give it up for Sarah. You know what I'm saying? For the introduction, man.
Yeah.
That shit was awesome. You know, we did talk on the phone briefly, you know, to set this collab up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so we definitely made sure we had a meeting of the minds. Sarah is extremely intelligent herself. You know what I'm saying? It takes one to know one. You know what I'm saying? Take a genius to know a
Right.
genius. And so we were able to have a meeting of the minds and get deep into some real estate game a little bit. And to come up and just kind of coming together and seeing how we can be a mutual benefit. You know what I'm saying? To what we both got going on. So basically, Sarah and I connected on the premise of real estate, of wholesale, progress, of making money, of making change.
Yeah.
And I definitely want you to talk a little bit about that, a little bit about what you shared about with me.
Okay.
In terms of like what drew you to real estate. And the reason why is because you really don't often see, young sisters pursuing this field like that, and then I looked on your channel and I see like playlists, I see curated content, and I see like, you subscribe in the different centers of influence and thought leaders. And so I see you really surrounding yourself with the information you need to win and prosper. And so when I see something like that, when I see something like that, Sarah, I see someone who's really special because they're thank you, because they're actually making efforts to invest in themselves, and that is, just beyond, I'm very appreciative for that, because what that does is, and I like to get real deep, but what that does is when we invest in ourselves, it is a process, but when other people see us investing in ourselves, and they don't really see right away, but over time they pick up on it. It gives permission to other people to do the same thing, become better. Just by you being a living example of someone just being interested in real estate, it's that first small step that counts.
Right.
That's how, any greatness or any level of success that I've achieved, I've got it from just taking that first small step. Well, like what's real estate? Well, what are stocks? Well, what's private equity? Well, what's risk analysis? Well, what's innovation? So it's like you take that first step by asking that first question and being curious. And then you feel that kind of like that heart palpitation, like, oh my God, I'm actually doing this, like, because if I do it, word, because I mean, I like to study the brain and the way the mind works. And there's this phenomenon that's a characteristic of the brain, and it's called neuroplasticity. Have you heard of that?
No, I have not.
Okay. Well, you're finna learn today, Sarah. You ready to learn today?
I love to learn. Better from them.
Awesome. So, neuroplasticity is actually the brain's inability to shrink back down to size once it's been exposed to material it's never seen before, but material that it likes. You know what I'm saying? So in other words, if you feed yourself some high value information, your brain will not allow you to just forget that information. If it feels, it connects with your heart, because the brain is only 12 inches away from your heart. So when your brain connects with your heart, there's a current there, and it's a transmission of information. You know what I'm saying? It goes from logic to emotional to compelling, and it compels you to action, to actually continue to seek more information, to continue to learn, to continue to study. And if you don't continue this process once you started it, once you've gotten these moments of like enlightenment, and I can do this, I can do that, if you don't continue that process, what happens is you begin to fall into states of depression.
Oh, wow.
And it's a function of your brain that causes you to feel depressed when you're not learning, because your brain is actually trying to help you out. You feel me?
Yeah.
And it helps you out through, because 90% of the brain is subconscious, you know what I'm saying? Unconscious. It's not really, really thinking about all these different functions, but your brain is running your entire body, like right now. And I don't just consider the brain you know, in here, I consider my fingertips an extension of my brain because what I touch, that's information. You know what I'm saying? Wherever I put
Right.
myself, that's information. And there was, I'm gonna let you talk, but I'm just going in because I want to set the tone. You feel me? I want to get you
No,
warmed up.
that's
You feel
cool.
me?
I don't want to get my turn.
Word. So where was I? No. So you know, the function of the brain is to not let you lose, and it does that through pleasure and reward and also pain. You know, and that's what the function of neuroplasticity is. This is a scientific term. Brain surgeons are very familiar with it. They have different definitions for it, like more technical than what it actually is. But this is the more actually like getting to the root cause of it. You know, getting to like the deeper meaning of it, how it all actually, you know, just in layman's terms, so we can
Right.
understand it. And so our YouTube subscribers can understand it. And the other thing I want to touch base is it's important to collaborate. It's important to get on with people. It's important to expose yourself. You know, and I really, you know, applaud you, Sarah, for jumping on this because that's real brave. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you don't even really know me like that, you know?
Of course.
So just the fact that you took a leap of faith to get on the phone with me, and then to set up a collaboration, that's a big step. That's a lot. I mean, that's something that most women will not do. Most men won't do
Yeah,
that.
I'm a different breed.
Word. You hungry, you driven, you know? And what's that you use on your skin? Do
What
you
do I
use,
use on my
do
skin?
you use anything for your skin?
No.
What?
I just use. I know, but my
She's
skin
glowing,
looks like
guys.
you like this stuff. Trust me, I had terrible skin growing up. Like
What?
my skin was filled with acne. Like it was bad.
Oh my
Like it
goodness.
just got better now. I suffered. I suffered.
Wow.
But yeah, I went vegan for a year. I want to say this was 2017. I did it for a whole year, and like that was the best decision I ever did in my life. But I'm not vegan anymore.
Mm.
But it helped me like it helped clean my insides, everything. Like I felt like a new person, honestly. Um, yeah, like if I can go vegan again, I would. But then I just learned that I can balance everything. Like I don't have to just eat. Um, I felt like I was killing myself just eating vegan food, like you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I mean, it wasn't easy starting, but it got easy going down the line. But I just figured out, hey, I can eat what I want, you know. I just gotta know what I'm eating and not excessively eat too much of the bad stuff. I can still clean my body at the same time. So I call myself a flexitarian, not a vegetarian or a vegan.
A what? You call yourself a what?
A flexitarian.
A flexitarian. Oh man.
Yeah, because
So like
I
flex,
can eat either way.
like a flexitarian, like that.
No. Vegetarian, in my terms, meaning I can eat anything. Like, I balance it out. Like I can enjoy what I want when I want, but I balance it. You know?
Okay. So I mean, so you're not a vegan no more, right?
No, I'm not.
But you were a vegan for what? 2 years?
1 year.
1 year. 1 year.
Yeah.
Wow.
This was in 2017.
27.
Why? Because when my father had his stroke,
Mm-hmm.
he couldn't eat. Well, we thought he couldn't eat certain foods because he was on like 12 different kind of medications, and they were all high blood pressure medications. So automatically, we're thinking he has to be healthy, you know, because dealing with high blood pressure, you don't want to give him too much salty food, and you don't want to give him too much. So that was a lot of stuff that he couldn't eat, but it was just like hard, you know. So we were just like, all right, he's a vegan, so we're gonna just give him vegan food. And since he was vegan, we all decided, okay, how about we eat vegan food too? So like we don't have to cook so much, so we all eat the same food.
Wow.
And
wow.
yeah, and I mean, it wasn't cheap. I'm going to
Yeah.
tell you that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Of course.
yeah, but it was fun though. It was a good experience. We made a lot of vegan food homemade. Like it was very fun. Um, yeah, so that's how I got to be vegan for that whole year. It was my dad.
That's amazing. That's phenomenal.
I
You
know.
know.
If it wasn't for him, I would have never went vegan. To be honest.
And then you got you have how many other sisters?
I have. Wait, how many? Oh, 3 sisters and 2 brothers. That's a lot. So altogether 6 kids.
3 sisters and 2 brothers?
Yeah.
And
I'm the second oldest.
You're the second oldest sister.
Well, first oldest sister. My brother, one of my brothers is the oldest out of all of us.
Who's the oldest?
My brother.
Your brother. And then after that, that's you. Like, so you're the oldest sister.
Yeah, I'm the oldest.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I would assume you were like one of the younger sisters, you know, but.
No, but I get that a lot though, that I look young. I'm like, good.
Word. That's a lot of pressure though. That's a lot of pressure.
You said what?
That's a lot of pressure.
Oh yeah, you won't believe it.
I believe
Growing
it.
up was tough.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Yo.
But it was good pressure, you know.
Okay.
To challenge myself.
So Sarah, you said you were in the boondocks somewhere. You're in Maryland, right?
Sorry, you said what again?
You said you were in Maryland, right?
Yes, I was in Acton, Maryland for like 10 years.
Wow, yeah. We spoke about that. Yeah. Okay.
But now I'm in Woodbridge, Virginia.
Okay. And how long have you been studying real estate?
I want to say a month now. Like I just started.
Wow, awesome. You're so fresh.
Like I'm fresh.
Okay. Yeah, I might have some fun with you, you know? Yeah, because I move fast.
Fun, yes, I like fun.
I move real fast, more information, you know what I'm saying? But you know, definitely there's a lot that you can do in real estate. There's a lot that you can do in real estate. You know, and you don't need a license to invest. You know that. You don't need a license to invest. You just need a license
when I
to
found
sell.
that out, I was like, oh my gosh, I know I could do it.
Yeah. I mean, you could get the license too if you wanted to, but it just depends on what your strategy is. Because some
That's true.
Go ahead.
That's true because I was gonna actually go get my license. Like I was gonna study, get books and everything, take the exam, and I was just like, wait, it's gotta be something else. Like it's the reason why I didn't take that route. And I'm glad that I didn't because I kept pushing it off. Like, okay, I'm gonna sign up this week, next week. I kept telling myself that until I came across this video on YouTube, and I was just like, I knew it. I knew it wasn't my time to go and take that test for the real estate exam. I knew it. Well, to study for the test. And honestly, that's why I always trust my instincts like the first time, because majority of the time I'm always right the first time. Like I noticed that about myself, and then I will always doubt myself, knowing that the first time was the right time for me. And I know out there they say you don't always be like the first time, but for me, I'm always like the first time.
Oh wow!
So I learned that.
Okay.
Seriously, I learned that about myself. I was like, wow, like you always have it the first time. So listen to yourself more. Like I have to always talk to myself like, you're tripping. What you mean? You got it the first time. So like after that, I was just like, yeah, Sarah, you could do anything. Like you really could do it. Like I got faith in myself. I know I could do it.
No, Sarah, Sarah, you're really glowing right now. You're like the sun, literally. Right now.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you were right about that lighting. Sarah and I was going back and forth. Just have some technical difficulties on the Zoom. And, hopefully this audio comes out right. It comes out clear. I apologize if the audio and as crisp. as usual. But we figured it out. We make it work. You know,
Of course, that's what we do. We figure it out.
we figure it out. That's what we do. You know,
Yes.
Shawty got the motherland around her neck, hanging like that,
Yes.
cold.
And you know what? It has my parents' country and craziness too. If I can zoom in for you.
Really?
This is DRC right there. You know?
Oh yeah, the Congo.
Central
Yeah,
Africa.
the Congo, yeah.
Yeah.
The
But it's
Congo.
real too. I can shower, I can swim, anything in it. I can do anything with it.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, sounds like fun. I know.
Word. So have you ever been to the Congo?
Yeah, actually, when I was 2 though,
When
so
you were
I
2?
don't remember anything.
Oh, that
Just
don't
pictures.
count. That's too long.
I know, it's too long. I have to go back very soon.
Yeah.
I'll go.
Definitely.
We'll go. I'll take you.
Oh, we'll go. Oh, you gonna show me around?
Yeah, my
Ooh.
parents have land over there. They have houses over there. So yeah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that if it's just me and you, then I might just have to take a guide with me. You feel me? I can't rely on no 2-year-old memory like that. I gotta be sure where I'm going. Like, yo, I gotta know that this tribe, don't fucking, don't go over
No,
there.
I have family there. They're gonna give us the school and everything. I got my cousins. They all live over there. They're actually rich over there too. So we'll be well taken care of.
Definitely. Is it because of the economy, or are they just like rich like that?
What did you say?
Are they rich because of like the economy is different, or are they just rich?
No, they were always rich growing up. Like they were the rich cousins.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for the subscribers out there, man, if y'all never been to Africa, Africa is an amazing, beautiful place, vast landscape. It is the center of the world's landmass. You can find all resources there that you can find anywhere else in the world. You got gold, copper, zinc, nickel, dime. You got diamonds. You got, silver, white gold, all that kind of stuff down there. Everything. All the animals. A lot of you don't know that, lions are, indigenous to Africa. You know what I'm saying? When we was watching cartoons, I don't know if you remember watching Scooby-Doo and all them. You remember?
Love Scooby-Doo.
You love that shit?
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to do that.
Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. So Scooby snack. Shaggy always looked like a crackhead to me, but I never really questioned it. You know what I'm saying? But Shaggy was stoned the whole time. I said Shag. That's his name, right? Shaggy.
Yeah, Shaggy. What about Shaggy?
He was stoned the whole time. My man was high as fuck the whole time. He was a crack. I mean,
I don't put it past him.
Word. Wearing the same shirt, the same green shirt, and the same brown jeans, and the same black shoes. What are those? I'm going in on Shaggy now, and your dog was high.
I'm good. Oh my God.
What you putting in them Scooby snacks, man? This dude is eating dog food, bro.
You know what? You have a point. You really have a point now.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But hey, we back on. Oh, anyways, I brought that up because they used to have specials on where they used to have like lions and like the gladiators and all of that. So it's like it's easy to get a misconception. Like, man, you think elephants are from India and lions are from Europe. You know what I'm saying? They get all them animals from Africa.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's where all our animals come from. So Africa, actually, a lot of people don't know that there's snow in Africa. There's snow on the top of Mount Kilimanjaro, and that is going to be central towards southern Africa, I believe, like right just before South Africa. The southern part of Africa basically is where the more snow and colder regions are. Africa's got jungles, Africa's got wetlands, Africa's got safaris and deserts and all kinds of landscapes. So beautiful, beautiful continent, and I look forward to traveling to every single country in Africa. You know what I'm saying? And seeing what's good with it.
Same here.
You know. See, I got Africa behind me. You know what I'm saying? Center of the world.
Yes, I see.
You know. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like back on this real estate thing, like you've only been at it for a month, and I could just see
Yes.
like the rate of learning that you're taking yourself through. Like you're not wasting no time. You're like making yourself into a sponge.
Oh yeah, I don't waste no time. Like I wake up, sleep, I breathe real estate.
No, you don't.
That's what I do. Like that's the only thing I do because.
Already you breathe in real estate. I mean, it's a difference now. Like we talking like learning real estate, researching. Now we talking breathing real estate. That's a whole nother level.
That's a whole nother level. But that's how hungry I am. Like. When you're that hungry, nothing can stop you.
Okay, well,
especially if you're that dedicated to what you want to do, like you're gonna go off for it.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Is that okay? Let me ask you. I want to know, what are you hungry for?
I'm hungry to accomplish what I want. Like I told myself that I could do it, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to prove to myself, not to anybody else, just to myself that I could do it. That I can learn as much as I could. I may not learn every single thing, but I could learn as much as I could to be very successful in real estate.
How do you define success?
By setting my goals and actually reaching my goals.
What are your goals?
Well, as I'm going, learning real estate, I set my goals. So, for instance, I could tell myself like, okay, tomorrow you have to find 5 real estate words and study it and remember it. So then the next day I would do that. Like I would try to do that. And then when I achieve that, I become successful because I learned 5 words to find it and memorize it. Wow. So as I'm going, I'm setting my goals. So it's not like, oh, tomorrow I'm gonna go out and get houses and sell it. It's not like that. Like it takes steps. Like you crawl, then you walk, then you run.
Wow. Wow. I mean, perfect. I mean, it sounds like this as you become more aware, you're figuring out where you fit. Because real estate is a sector. It ain't just an industry now. It's a sector.
Right.
You feel me? Like when we talk about sectors, we talking real estate, we talking technology, we talking entertainment. These are all just, you feel me, sectors of the economy. You know what I'm saying? That just keep this motherfucker spinning.
That's right.
So like within real estate, you got tourism, you got travel, you got hotels, you got commercial, you got residential, you got investments, you got land, you got government, you got municipality, you know what I'm saying, city-owned real estate. So you even got, one of the ways that actually Warren Buffett got rich is, richer, you know what I'm saying, he's already rich, but he actually purchased the air above buildings in New York. So the space above buildings in New York, he purchased that airspace because he predicted that they would build the buildings taller. So in order for the real estate developers, you want me to back up? Or you want to keep going?
No, wait a minute.
Okay.
You can buy air?
You can buy fucking air. Yes, you can.
You know what? That's amazing. That is amazing. I never knew that. Wow.
Word. So
I'm gonna let you finish. I'm just wow.
Word. So
buying air.
Before the real estate developers, and real estate developers are people who develop real estate, build real estate, design real estate, contemplate real estate, invent real estate, imagine real estate. They come together and collaborate real estate. So they build, you know what I'm saying? And they had to talk to Buffett to be like, hey, is it okay if we build this building? You know what I'm saying? So it's like that. You feel me? Like when you place yourself in a position of superior knowledge, you know, your wealth is yours. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And so I don't know if you've seen like have you seen any like new constructions coming up, like where you around, like some big exciting constructions? Have you noticed any things like
Oh
that?
yeah,
Yeah?
definitely.
What kind of projects?
Its majority is like townhomes, apartments. I think there's a lot of apartment developments being made. Um, what else? Yeah, that's about it. It's mostly homes that I see are being built around my area.
It's mostly homes. And how big are the homes? Like one family, two family?
Townhomes
Townhomes.
and apartments. A lot of apartments. Yeah.
Okay, so townhomes usually like probably like four people in there, maybe two to four people.
Yeah. Maximum four.
Yeah. Okay. And then the other, you see a lot of just regular houses or apartments.
Not that really. Well, I live in Woodbridge, so it's not that many single family homes around here.
Okay. Is any apartment buildings?
Yeah, like the luxury apartments, like, with the elevators, stainless steel,
Definitely.
all that good stuff.
All right, so one thing you'll pick up on because as a wholesale professional, you'll have to train your eyes, to see opportunity.
Right.
So this is a part of like charting your path in real estate is recognizing opportunities. And so there's names for identifying buildings that are more luxury than others. And then there's names for identifying buildings that are more like in disrepair, or they're just like projects, kind of like hood projects, or they just need repairing. They need to be flipped. They need to be refurbished. So typically, have you heard of like A class, B class, C class, D class? Have you heard of the classes?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so the luxury buildings that you see with like the water fountains and the gold dolphins, everywhere and all of that, and it's just incredible. Those are like the A class buildings. Rents are probably like, well, it depends on where you are like geographically, because cost of living varies. But for some A-class buildings out here, like rents are gonna be like 4, 5, 6, 7 grand per month. To rent like a 1 or 2 bedroom. Yeah. So those are the A-class buildings, and typically, because you want to know that the luxury buildings take a lot more energy and capital to actually design and create. There's a lot more planning involved. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
So that actually affects the outcome of the investment potential. How difficult or how much energy it takes to make something happen. So when it comes to the luxury buildings, like the A-class buildings that we just described, investors will invest in those properties to actually park their money, and those investments are intended for their great grandchildren to enjoy, because they don't return as much cash flow as quickly as like the ones you can flip. You feel me?
Right, they're living generational wealth.
Exactly. So they invested for the long term, and they're dropping straight M's, sometimes B's. Just like would be like a shopping center or whatever. So, do you have any questions for me thus far? Like any?
No, I don't actually.
No, I need you to have some questions for me like next time, because the only way that you're going to be taken seriously as a professional is you have to be prepared with the right questions to ask.
Okay.
And
I'll have questions next time for you.
Definitely. And not just for me, like I'm talking about like for everybody you deal with. I'm talking about for, men trying to get at you, you gotta have the right questions to ask. I'm talking about, in real estate, you got two different stakeholders like we talked about over the phone. You got your investors who are putting up the capital so that you can help them purchase the property. And then you got your owners who own the property. And you got your different types of owners. Some are frustrated, some are sick and tired of their place. Some are just, they kind of need to be encouraged to move out of it. Some are like absentee, which means that they own the property, but they live in another state or away from it. So you got these different types of people, and you're going to need to know and be equipped with the right questions to ask them so that they can take you seriously.
That makes sense.
And do you know why? Do you know why people take you seriously?
If you ask questions.
Well, I'm gonna help you out a little bit because I know you. I like to kind of do like a quick, like an interactive kind of thing when I'm speaking. But I'm gonna help you out. So, in order for people to take you seriously, they have to trust you.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
They have to trust you. And how trust ties into being taken serious and how it ties into asking the right questions is this. So there are actually two types of trust that you can establish with a person. And I'll just keep it simple. So the first type is, I trust your intentions. I trust that you mean well. I trust that you're not a threat. I trust that you're coming with something helpful for me. I trust that you're coming in peace. That's the first type of trust, is I trust your intentions. And the second type of trust is, I trust your ability. I trust your expertise. I trust you know what you're doing. And so when you ask the right questions, it simultaneously satisfies the two types of trust that people need to have in order to take you seriously. Does that make sense?
Now that you said it that way, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Okay, word. So, when you pull up on an owner, you're driving around or whatever in your Benz, you know what I'm saying? You pull up on the owner.
Yeah.
You can ask him, hey, are you looking to sell? Or you can ask him, hey, what's the biggest problem with your property right now? It puts things on a different level. How you tweak the question, how you tweak your ask,
Right.
I won't get too deep into it simply because I'm not an active real estate professional. What I actually do is I manage other real estate professionals. So I have to know a certain amount of knowledge to be able to lead others, correctly so that they can be successful.
Right.
But I'm not actually out here, grinding wholesaling, you know what I'm saying? Because that's a whole other monster. But I need to be knowledgeable about it because my business is the business of collaborations. And all that means is simply you're bringing people together who have individual value, and you're bringing them together to create more value. You know what I'm saying? So you know something that's high value, and I know something high value. We combine our minds well together. You know what I'm saying? We're a fucking threat.
Big magic.
Exactly. And it just increases the intrinsic value. So when you surround yourself with other professionals, because what I would want for you to do, I can't want things for you, but what I encourage you to do is I encourage you to continually seek other leaders, continue doing what you're doing in terms of studying, people are putting real estate content up, study my shit, you know what I'm saying? Find more of me. You feel me? As much of me as you can find. Ain't a lot of me going around. I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of me going around. But
there is.
Yo, you know what I'm saying? I gotta find more of me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
it's like a needle in a haystack though, but you're out there.
I appreciate that. A lot. You know what I'm saying? Your hair is very lovely, by the way.
Thank you. My lovely sister did it.
That's dope.
That's the only person I let touch my hair, by the way. My sister.
Your sister? Oh,
yeah.
One of those. Yeah. Very young. So why are you so protective over your hair?
Why am I protective over my hair?
Yeah. Why are you so don't touch my hair, motherfucker?
Because it got my hair been through a lot. It got cutting off. getting chemical products on it. It was bad. And I just felt like, okay, it's either you're gonna learn how to do your own hair, so you won't let no one touch it and fuck it up,
Mm-hmm.
or you're just gonna keep going to people and having your hair fucked up. So I chose to learn it myself. So I actually went to cosmetology school for 2 years. So
Wow.
yeah, I learned
Wow.
I learned how to do everything. Nails, hair, I could do it all. But I just let my sister do it because she went to school as well and she does hair well. Shout out to my sister Sophie. Yeah, so that's all that I got to do my hair. And she doesn't cut my hair and burn it off. So that's why I go to her. So it only makes sense to keep going to her. I mean, come on. My hair stays on my head.
Mm-hmm. That's what's up.
Yeah, but
Okay.
yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I wanted to know because I'm always interested in that because I know like for a woman, like your hair is yours. It's kind of like defined. You know what I'm saying? It is actually. I study a lot of different things, so like
Mm.
your hair is. I heard someone who said this. Like your hair actually, it's directly attached to your brain. There's this brain. I keep talking about brains. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a zombie or something, right?
Yeah.
But the reason why I talk about brains is because a lot of times, let me take this jacket off.
You get hot, huh?
Yeah. Now the guns is coming out. Now the real knowledge is coming out. So I speak about the brain a lot because the brain is so important. You can have a whole bunch of skills. You could be a straight whiz in something, but you can still be unsuccessful. And the reason why you have a whole lot of knowledge, or you can find yourself with a whole lot of knowledge, but you feel like you're not really being valued for your knowledge, or you're not as successful. This is what I'm speaking like in general, just people in general. The reason why is because you have to share your knowledge, and sharing your knowledge is the toughest part. In terms of a business, in terms of like a business model. So you have to sell.
Why do you think that's the toughest part, though? Sharing.
What was that?
I said, why do you think it's the toughest part, sharing knowledge?
That's a great question. It's a fantastic question. There you go. See, there it is. There it is. Shorty asking questions already.
Well, see, when you asked me at that point, I didn't have any questions. And now I do.
Wow, that was a dope question. I'm going to have to write that down. So the question again was, why do I think that sharing the knowledge is the toughest aspect of having knowledge?
Yes. Why do you think that is?
Well, the reason why it's tough to share your knowledge is because not everyone deserves your knowledge. Not everyone is worthy of your knowledge because your knowledge, again, is attached to your time, attached to your energy, attached to your attention, attached to your soul, attached to you. So if you're sharing your knowledge, you're actually sharing an aspect of your soul.
And that's actually a good answer. But I also struggle with that. Like, well, let me try to reword it. Sometimes I think like, okay, I may know this, but if I don't tell somebody this, who knows if that information that I have that I gave to them will like inspire them to do something, rather than me just keeping that to myself and not knowing that, hey, if I had like told that person or made a video and put it out there, it touched somebody's heart, and it's like, wow, because of her making that video, that made me want to keep going. I'm not saying that it's my job to make people keep going, but you just never know. So who are you to say that my knowledge isn't for that specific person?
I mean, well, no one really is, and that's the thing. That's why there it is. That's why it's the toughest part.
Yeah.
Because
yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Because you have to make a living off of what you know. Like
Yeah.
every one of us, like each and every one of us, no matter who we are or what we do, we could be doing real estate, we could be doing freaking, I don't know, golf tournaments or whatever. Like we're making money off of what we
Right.
know how to do at the beginning of
Right.
the day. You know what I'm saying? So we have to live with what we know, and we have to be able to live off of what we know, and we have to be able to create value for others based on what we know. So we have to make sure that our knowledge is accurate, and we have to share it with the right audience, you know, the most receptive audience that will actually purchase the knowledge, learn the knowledge, study the knowledge, apply the knowledge, and then benefit from the knowledge, and then come back to us and tell others, hey, I benefited from this knowledge.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And use it for good, not for bad.
Absolutely. You know?
Because people can take knowledge and use it for bad. Like, they can really, like, damage a lot of shit.
Right.
So you're right. It is tough.
Yeah. So, but, you know, moving into, you know, how do you do it? How do you share your knowledge? You know what I'm saying? Like, well, it's tough.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when things are difficult, what you have to do is, with any challenge that you have or with any difficulty that you experience, in order to overcome that challenge or difficulty, you have to have a process for doing so. And all the process is a system. It's a repeatable system. It's a set of steps that you follow to overcome that challenge. You know what I'm saying? So, for example, you want to make $1 million. You know what I'm saying? You're having a hard time making $1 million. Well, you know, we get into, well, why do you want to make this? What are you making it for? You know what I'm saying? How committed are you to making this? How invested are you? What are you willing to do for it? And then we actually give you a system for acquiring that. You know, if you want to make $1 million, you take on $10,000, $100,000 projects. You know, there go your million. But how does it actually get done? You know, who are you taking on these projects for? What projects are you doing? You know, it gets more specific. So once you come up with like a general process to help you overcome a challenge, from there it gets easier to kind of get more granular and involved in the kind of critical micro steps, you know, to get you through the whole process. I mean, does that make sense?
I agree. It does. A lot of things.
All right, word. So a lot of people be like stuck in certain situations, and even me, I get stuck all the time. Trust me, I'll probably be one of the most stuck motherfuckers on this thing. You feel me? But I get stuck. It's crazy. It sounds crazy.
I know how you feel.
It sounds crazy, but you know, I get stuck because I'm always working.
Not crazy.
You know, I'm always working. You know, so I always need help, and I'm always reaching out to people to help and support me. And a lot of us, you know, we're afraid to kind of like, hey, can you help me with this? I need help with this. I'm not afraid because I learned my lesson. It's better to get it right the first time than have to, you know, like, oh man, we thought we were on the right track and we're not going to do this all over again.
Right.
That pain is worse than the pain of coming to someone and saying, hey, I need some help with this. I don't really know what the fuck I'm doing. You know?
I don't think it's pain going to somebody for help. People just, with society, make you feel like it's hard, like it's bad for you to go to somebody for help. Mm-hmm. Are y'all serious? Come on.
Well, keep in mind now, you're a woman.
What you mean?
What does that got to do? I mean, that has to do with a lot of things. You know, you're a woman, and that's not, you know, to insult you or put you down or anything, but, you know, women they have more of an easy time going to others and being social and including people, you know what I'm saying? But with men,
reach my mother then.
Where? Reach your mom?
She is a tough cookie. She would not ask the person for shit.
Okay.
She will figure it out herself. She would. That's somebody that's very prideful.
Okay.
And that's a woman.
Yeah. I mean.
So I hear you though. It differs though, like.
It gets interesting. Sarah.
It differs.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was saying it differs because Yeah, you're right. Women are more easygoing. They're soft. So they will go. They're more likely to go to someone for help. But there are some men out there that do that. They do ask for help, but society makes men like, oh, you're a man. You have to figure it out yourself. You can't go to somebody to ask for help. They'll make you look weak. And it's like, damn, does it really make that man weak? Because what if he really did try his best? What if he really did do it on his own and he failed and he just needs help? Like, there's nothing wrong with getting help from somebody else, regardless if you're a man or a woman.
I like that.
But I do get it. A man does want to feel like, no, I got this. I get it. Right. I understand. I feel it. But, I mean, if you really tried your best, like really seriously tried your best, and you really need help, go get help. Like, if that will help you, don't get help.
I like that. I like that a lot.
You know, it won't hurt, you know?
Yeah. I like that, philosophy. And the thing is that it's easier said than done. Because I've been through the process, but I actually had to unlearn, the negative psychology behind it. So like, I had to learn that you ask for help in order to remain strong, not because you're weak.
Yeah.
I had to learn that. But like that was told to me, like I learned that a long time ago, but you could hear some information and it'd be a long time until you actually apply the information.
Yeah.
And you kind of have to, like, if something's new to you and it kind of goes against your programming, because we all have programming. Like, I'm gonna go back to the brain, because this is all about the brain right now, like this whole thing, you know what I mean? Because your mind is not inside your head. Your head is inside your mind.
Wow, I like that. Say that again.
Where I'm gonna say it later. You feel me? I'm gonna keep you in.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep you in suspense. Always keep some water with me. All right. So because back to the brain. So the reason why we talked about the two types of trust and people taking you seriously and all of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a lot of times it's tough to share your knowledge because you don't understand how your brain works and how someone else's brain works. Because there are reasons why people do what they do. There's a reason why people say yes to some salespeople and no to some others. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things. Like the brain is literally like your decision maker. So you have to understand this thing. That's in, it's in the skulls of the people you're dealing with. So if you understand the brain and what their control center is all about, you can influence them and move things in the direction you want them to go. And this goes back to, being responsible with the knowledge that you have. Because if you're around me, you're gonna learn some shit. I'm telling you.
No, for real.
You're gonna learn some shit they don't teach you in class. They ain't gonna teach you this at beauty school, you know what I'm saying? So, but I'm happy you went there.
I'm happy I did too, actually. If I didn't go there, I wouldn't have enjoyed high school.
You wouldn't have
enjoyed high school.
High school. Because when you were talking about it, when you mentioned cosmetics, I see you like lit up a little bit because I could tell it was like an investment for you. Like you actually learned and you put some work in. Like I could tell, like you felt kind of like you were into it. Because some people just be talking like, oh, I did this, I did that, but you were like, no, I was in cosmetic school and So that's cool.
Yeah.
That's real cool. So
it was fun.
So
sorry, keep my sister in the background.
So the last time you were in Accra was 2 years old. I know I'm kind of like jumping around a little bit.
So I was told.
So you were told. Okay.
Yeah.
You might have never even been there if you don't remember.
No, I have. I've seen the pictures.
Oh, you seen the pictures? Okay.
Yeah, pictures.
All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, what makes sharing your knowledge easier, or at least simpler, is a business model for sharing your knowledge. And what I like to do is I like to give my business model away so that people like leave an interaction with me, like knowing like, oh man, I can do this shit that he's doing. I can do this myself. You know what I'm saying? So you know how they tell you like, oh, don't sell your soul and all that kind of stuff. You're supposed to sell your soul.
To who? Who we selling it to though?
You selling it to that's a great another great question. Who we selling it to? That's a fantastic question.
Who we selling it to?
You see that, guys? If these guys still listening by now, you know what I'm saying? Because we ain't live, you know what I'm saying? This is gonna be pre-recorded like motherfuckers. So hopefully they still listen. If anything, we can always come back and put like the timestamps in, you know, and be like, oh, we talking about this topic here, you feel me, this topic here. And then we went back to some bullshit over here, and then we talking about this thing over here, and we back on this, you know, so over here. So I totally lost my train of thought. Where was we at?
We're talking about who we selling ourselves to.
Exactly. Okay. Oh, excellent. See, she's paying attention. She's paying attention, guys and gals.
Yeah.
So who are we selling our soul to? That's an imperative.
I can tell you what I think who we're selling our souls to.
Yeah, sure.
I think that we're selling our souls to one another. And why I say that is because everybody's different. Everybody has a different soul. So what I have or what I learned, I could pour it on to you. Or what you have, what you learn, you can pour it on to me. So to me, that's what I feel like selling our souls is to each other. It's not like to the devil or to or to whoever people think that whatever is bad. Like whoever you call the devil. But I think that people they're not really thinking like, okay, you're not selling it to the devil actually. That is what society puts it out to be. But that's what I feel like selling our souls. It's to each other. It's not a bad thing.
The only devil that I recognize is poverty. I think that poverty is the devil. And there's different forms of poverty. You know what I'm saying? It's not just financial poverty, but you got, you know, nutrition poverty. You know what I'm saying? You got food poverty. You got knowledge poverty. You know, different forms of that. But that's facts though, what you said. Like this is an exchange. You feel me? Like when you're, and the reason why you can sell your soul in the first place is because you never run out of it. You know what I'm saying? Your soul is eternal. It's gonna live. It was always here. It's always gonna be. You know, your body might deteriorate, but your soul's gonna live forever. But like when an artist draws something, or creates something, or Steve Jobs invents a new phone or whatever, or has a team of guys do it and then takes credit for the idea, you know, everyone's partnering to sell a portion of themselves. You know, if you're giving the time to something, your soul's involved in that. You know, so the best souls, I think, create the best value for others. You know, and when you said like, well, who we selling our souls to? We selling our souls to our highest value customers, the highest value audience, our highest value partners, the people that deserve to receive us in the first place. You know, we ain't selling our soul to nobody that don't want our value. We selling people that want our value, and they're worthy of it, deserving. You know. So that's my you know, that's my take on it. But you know, like that, back to understanding the brain, because that's phenomenal. You know, studying the brain is something that I'm learning more. Like you said, like you're studying real estate. I've been studying the brain all my life. I just didn't know it. You You know what I'm saying? Like now I'm kind of just like studying the brain, so that I can really take all this shit that I currently got to the next level. You know, because people.
You said you're studying the brain now.
I'm studying the brain now, the human brain.
Like studying the brain, like inside the brain, or how one thinks.
All aspects of the brain, everything.
Oh, okay.
Everything, and especially related to making positive decisions. Because the reason why.
That's interesting.
Yeah. You want me to go?
That's interesting. Sorry?
You want me to keep going?
Yeah.
All right, word, because like for example, there was a project that I was going to take on down here in Jersey, or up here in Jersey, because we're above you. For a civil engineer, like, so these are the guys that actually work with the architects. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a civil engineer is someone that does blueprints. They do land surveying. A land surveyor. I don't know if you've seen those like tripods. They're kind of like, they're tall and they kind of stay in the like yellow. And there's people that bend over. They look through them. They're kind of like lasers, and they kind of shoot across like a landscape. Like this is like when, you know what I'm talking about?
Wait, you're breaking up. I can barely hear you.
I'm breaking up?
Yeah. Say that again?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
That's better? All right, so I don't know if you've seen them, those like kind of like tripods. I think they're called like, I forgot what they're called, theodites or something like that. But they're like yellow. They're like kind of like, they're just like cameras that kind of like sit on top of these, you know, this tripod, and they're kind of like lasers. They shoot like lasers across. Like
what's that?
You don't know what that is? I'm terrible like describing what this thing is, but basically, like a land surveyor basically tests like the topography of a land. So like the top of it, like how smooth the soil is, how smooth the land is, the hills, the terrain. They analyze the terrain. And a civil engineer is someone that draws the blueprints for a building. You know, how the interior of a building is going to be, like where the electrical circuits are going to go, and pipes and plumbing and, you know, different things like that of that nature. So basically these guys have a lot of maps and designs and plans. You know, you've seen a blueprint before, right? Of a building, like you know what that looks like. Like you've seen the movies and a blueprint. You've seen a blueprint before, right?
No, I haven't.
You never seen a blueprint? You know what a blueprint is? Damn, do I have one here?
No.
I don't know if I have one here.
Do you mean it's like a layout?
Yeah, like a layout. Exactly.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you've seen like layouts, but like a blueprint is kind of like more like detailed and stuff. You know, it's gonna have like measurements and things like that. And you know, by the way.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
By the way, these are good to have, you know, for your people, for your contacts.
Oh wow.
Yeah, these are all real estate professionals, by the way. So, you know.
Yeah, I'm working on getting my business card.
So I'm showing off now, but these are contractors.
No, you can.
You know.
Shoot, nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. That's that old shit. You feel me? That's that, like, you know, you ain't with technology. You feel me? But I like to have like people's information digitized. Go ahead. All right, back online. All right, so
All right, so you're talking about the real estate part.
Yeah. I was talking about like blueprints and stuff. So yeah, so basically, to make a long story short, I was gonna take on a project for a guy that had a bunch of blueprints. He literally had like 400,000 blueprints, like 400,000.
Yeah, 400,000 blueprints.
400,000 blueprints, but these blueprints are kind of like they're all different sizes, but a lot of them are like huge. You know what I'm saying? Like they're like as big as a table. You know what I'm saying? So, what we were gonna do for him was originally we were gonna scan his files so that they become digitized. So instead of having like a blueprint, like.
Oh, you're breaking up again.
I'm breaking up again.
Yeah.
All right.
Like you're going in and out.
In and out. All right.
I hear you better now.
You hear me better now. Just let me know if it happens again. I'll probably just call you back. So, but it's just the sound though, because the video not going out. The video's cool, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Word. And it's not. I like how it's not like, you feel me, like if your mouth is not moving and you talking, you feel me, like, oh shit, now it's just like tripping me out. My wires are crossed. Yeah, so I was taking on a project for this guy, and the project was basically, the original project was we were gonna scan his files in the digital formats so that he can have them on his computer instead of just having like this. He literally had file cabinets of this shit everywhere, and this is a business, client.
No, you're breaking up again.
Yeah, all right, let me call you back, sorry.
Okay.
Wait, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Oh, what? Are you serious?
Oh my God. Yes, I can hear you.
What was we doing?
I don't know. I think because I had my headphones in, so it was attached to the phone call.
Oh,
I couldn't hear you through the video.
Yo, we got the high quality sound at the end of the joint.
Damn.
We might have to do another one of these. This is cool.
Yeah, we probably have to. I don't mind.
All right, this is a lot less stressful. You feel me? Because now I don't have to think about holding this and shit, and I can just.
I know. Oh, I'm sorry.
So, where was we at? So, we were talking about the project.
The layout. Yeah.
So, basically, my role was to bring a team in to help this guy get all his paper files converted into an electronic format. So that ended up not being, within his budget. So he didn't want to go with that. And so what we suggested was, well, instead of trying to take their existing archive, because his business is actually, his files go back to 105 years ago. And these maps and plans and designs show the history of how New Jersey was actually built, how it all came together. Back to 105 years ago. You feel me? That's some shit. So instead of us trying to digitize his existing archive, what we decided to do was to digitize his archive going forward. So any new files or new plans that he printed, we would scan those so that they'd be electronic, and he wouldn't have to worry about adding more paper to his files. But he ended up not moving forward with this client. I postponed the whole project. I was like, look, guys, we're gonna put this on pause. And the reason why is because I didn't have the experience to understand what kind of brain I was dealing with.
Okay.
This business owner happened to be like 70 years old, using a certain kind of mindset. When you get 70 years of your life, you're entitled to, the rest of your life and what you think. And even though the way you think might not be what's going on, the way you think is what's going on. That's the reality. That's the
right.
And we gotta be careful of that. Because I'm gonna be careful. I don't know about you, but I'm gonna be careful. I'm the old man around. My way to know that. I know that they got this.
Dang, you're going in and out.
Going in and out?
Yeah, it's like echoing.
Oh, all right. Yo, when we play this back, You know,
You said what again?
we're gonna be able to watch this.
Dang. All I heard was watch this.
Oh man, what?
Come on.
It's only good.
But can you hear me good?
I can hear you perfect.
Okay. So it's just me. It's my end then.
Let me see something. Let me make sure that we have two internet sources, so when they kind of both on one, kind of crazy. So, we've been on like for you doing awesome. You're doing an hour and 20 minutes. Like that.
Wow, it doesn't feel like it.
Does it feel like it?
No.
Good. That's a good sign.
How can you tell? I don't see it on my screen.
Oh, I can track everything, baby. Track everything. Like, one thing I always do in my business meetings
Mm-hmm.
is if I'm meeting with multiple people, I make sure that someone is basically in charge of the meeting, meaning that they're facilitating the meeting, and it's their main responsibility for that everything's communicated clearly, we're all on the same page. We call that role of facilitator.
I can barely hear you.
You can barely hear me? You want to call up again?
No. Yeah.
All right, let's go. We're gonna make it work. All right, we're gonna make it work.
I don't want to procrastinate. Hello?
Hey,
All right, there we go. Back in.
that's better? That's a little better?
Yeah, way better.
Way better? Oh man, all right. All right, so even though we had sound on the Zoom, you know what I'm saying, we doing better on the audio.
Yeah, on the phone is better.
On the phone is better. All right, that's what's up. That's what's up.
I mean, at first you were fine, but then it started going in and out. It was like, all right, now I can't even guess what you're saying.
Word. I know that can be real frustrating, especially when you want to soak in every detail. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a high value conversation because I'm in it.
You said what?
I said this is a high value conversation.
Oh yeah.
You know, so we want to soak every possible thing up. But yeah, so basically, I ended up not moving forward with the client because I wasn't prepared. I realized that I was encountering resistance from this guy that I wasn't prepared to disarm. And when you're out there, you know what I'm saying, you gotta sell no matter what you're doing to make your ends, you know what I'm saying, to make your money, you have to sell, period. And sell, SALE, S, like sales, that stands for sharing a life enhancing solution. Sales.
The S for sharing what?
Sharing a life enhancing solution. That's what sales stands for.
Oh, that was stands for. Dang. You're breaking up again.
You can't hear me?
Damn. A little bit.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. But like when you're talking like a full sentence, I can only hear like some parts of the sentence. When it's short, I can hear you.
What's that about?
Like you cut off on some words.
Wow, man. All right. All right. So I said that sales is an acronym.
acronym. Okay.
And sales basically stands for sharing a life-enhancing solution.
I like that.
So like you take that forward with you, and you know that when it comes down to sales, when it comes down to business, you don't have to be scared of it because you're sharing something that's going to enhance someone's life in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
You know, and you're simply just sharing. You know what I'm saying? Let me know if I break up again. I'll just repeat what I said. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't schedule. We basically didn't schedule like a time frame for this, but you got a curfew?
Oh yeah, we didn't. No.
You don't have no curfew? You don't have to be in bed by like 8:30 or something?
No, I don't.
All right. Well, I got.
Years ago.
I actually got a curfew. I got to be in bed by 8:30 every night. You know.
By what time?
By 8:30.
Oh, well, you passed your bedtime.
Yeah, I'm being a bad boy right now.
Yeah.
So, but that's how it be sometimes. So, I realized that this guy, he was just old, and like when you selling, you know what I'm saying, you're going to encounter resistance. Like resistance is natural. You know, but understand that anytime somebody offers you resistance, and you'll get it in subtle kind of ways, you know what I'm saying, when you're out there dealing with people. But resistance is not your fault. You know what I'm saying? And it's on them, the other person. When people are,
it won't be my fault.
When someone is resistant to you, it's not really your fault. So you don't have to feel like, you know,
Why do you think that?
Why do I think that?
Yeah.
Well, when you know that what you have to offer is great, and you know that it's suitable, and you know that you're a pro, you know that what you're offering is for the person you're talking to. Otherwise, you would not be talking to them. You know, so that's a part of goes back to like why, you know, sharing your knowledge is tough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Word. So when people be like, oh, well, you know, I don't know about this, or I don't know if I can do that, or let me think about it, or let me talk to my wife, or, you know, this and that, all that is just resistance. It's just an objection. It's an objection. It's an objection to the solution, to the sale. You know what I'm saying? So you want to know how the brain works, and you want to know what questions to ask, so that you make the client comfortable, so that they can overcome their own resistance to you. Because their resistance is, you want to understand how the brain works, so that you can understand how to overcome someone's resistance to themselves. Because they're not resisting you, they're resisting themselves. You got the solution, you got the value that they want, but they're giving you an objection, you know? They're giving you an objection. So basically I had to just, like, you know, postpone the project, and I'll probably check on my mans in 12 months, you know, 12 months, 18 months down the road. But it's not worth your time if people are going, it's like pulling teeth to get somebody to, you know, partner with you, or do business with you, you know. So I realized I had to pull my guys out of there, and I just have to cancel that shit, you know what I'm saying? Cancel that shit like Nino.
I'm trying to see if it's my audio. You're really breaking up.
Hey, we should have had that just as like a blooper. We should have had.
Wait, no, I didn't hear what you said at the beginning.
We should have had that as a blooper.
Behind the scenes, like this.
Like you see, like I'm in like a yellow box or something.
No, like by your name, like bars, and it's like yellow. It is
Like it's like a yellow outline, right?
No, it's just like at first it was white and then now it's yellow. But now it's white.
Oh.
It's like connection or something.
That's weird. Okay, that might be
on the video.
That might be my connection there. You on your phone though, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying like the audio. Like, are we? Oh, we're on.
We're on FaceTime.
Right? We're on the phone. Okay, FaceTime audio. But I don't know why I can't hear you like that. But you're going in and out when you're talking. So like when it's like short sentences, I can hear you clear.
Oh, so you want that Morse code. So I'm gonna just speak to you like this. Sarah, it has been a pleasure collaborating with you on YouTube.
Yeah,
Zoom.
that's how I can hear you.
Word.
But that's gonna get annoying.
Me, I'm annoying. I'm annoying.
No, it's gonna get annoying for you and for me.
That shit blew mine, you know what I'm saying?
You said what?
That shit blew mine.
It blew your mind?
No, it like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's the blow. Like it's like that's the East Coast shit. You feel me? Like it's hey, we from different towns, yo.
Oh wait, the insider?
Yeah. Like you know how you say like shit?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, say it again. What you say?
Hey, you ever heard them DC dudes, they be like, oh, why you joning? They still say that? You joning?
Yeah.
They still say that shit?
They still say that. You joning?
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's something else.
And that's old. But yeah, they still say that.
That's something else. They still say that shit. You joning? Yo. They've been saying that for decades. Yo, but yeah, do you have any questions for me? Cause you know, I know this is like a freestyle. I didn't have like a planned, you know, blueprint for this shit, for this particular convo. I just wanted to like vibe with you. You feel me? I wanted to like, honestly, I really wanted to get to know your mind more. You know, I wanted to get to know you more. You know, so I want to see like.
I don't have any questions yet.
You don't no questions? All right, so you got some questions.
Nah, wait. If I had questions, I would have asked.
You ain't got no questions? That's something else. All right. I mean, you got no questions at all? Like,
I mean, I probably do off the top of my head, but you know.
All right, well, let's get it. You know, you gotta challenge me.
Okay, let me get one.
Hey, I get bored real quick if I'm not challenged. I just get bored.
You said what?
I said I get bored if I'm not challenged.
Same here. But it's just like me not hearing you that well is like messing with me. Like, damn, I can hear him clear, you know.
You can't hear me clearly?
Oh, you kind of got me on the spot. I don't know.
All right, well, I'll tell you a funny story.
Okay, I like funny stories.
Okay, so and promise not to laugh.
Okay.
Because it's not funny. Why are you doing that? You're already laughing. Why are you doing that?
Lola, I told you I'm not gonna promise you. I keep my promises, so I'm not gonna promise you that. You said it's a funny story.
Whatever you do, don't laugh. Oh my goodness.
I'll try not to. Go ahead.
Wow. You can't keep a poker face. I can't take you on no business meetings with me. You can't keep no damn poker face. I'm over here trying to negotiate a deal like, I'm not really feeling this house. I mean, for the price, you talking about, what are you talking about? We can afford this. What are you talking about? This is the best deal ever.
Oh
Hey,
shit!
Sarah, chill.
No, 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 no.
I'm trying to get a
You put
deal.
me in the moment, I will be focused. This is right now because you're telling me not to laugh. And you're gonna say a funny joke. Okay.
Yeah, word. I ain't even got to the story yet. You almost made me forgot. All right, so
I'm sorry.
all right, so here we
Go
go.
ahead.
Here we go. So I actually stepped out of the crib today to get my hair cut because I've had my
You
hair.
stepped out of where?
I stepped out of my crib to get my hair cut today
Mm-hmm.
because I haven't cut my hair in like 90 days.
Okay.
So this is like my first haircut in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'll be moving out of hibernation. I'll be more in the field now, moving around and stuff. And so I go to get my hair cut, and my mustache was like, I had a nice little mustache. It was like real thick, you know what I'm saying? Because I usually have all of this, and I have like, the beard coming in and all of that. And my dude had to take all of that off, but while I'm sitting back in it,
You want to take all that off?
yeah, I was like, man, I'm gonna let him do what he do, But I was just like, man, be very careful with my mustache, man. So I'm sitting in the chair, right? And he's cutting my hair and all of that, and then he leans me back in the chair like this to do all the hair underneath my neck, and
Right.
do all that with bars. You know how you know beauty. You know what I'm saying? You should be telling me this story. So basically, I'm getting my hair cut, right? I'm leaning back and I'm like real comfortable. You feel me? So I'm like zoned out. I'm not really paying attention to what's going on. And he's working on my mustache. And so I'm kind of just like chilling, in the back seat. I'm not in the back seat, but like I'm leaning back in the chair and I'm kind of like just like enjoying the cut. And this other barber was there cracking jokes and shit. He just kept cracking some corny ass jokes. I laughed, you feel me? The dude was cutting my mustache. He fucking took half of this shit off.
Oh my god!
And he was like, oh. He was like, oh. Your mustache is gone, dude. I said, what? I was still laughing, trying to be serious. Because the nigga was funny as hell. Just cracking jokes.
Oh my god.
You feel me? But he was working on my shit. That shit just whoop. You feel me? Cut that shit off. So I looked in the mirror. Like this part is like black. You feel me? Because I got the hair all like that. It's like if you see this right here, that's how this is kind of pretty much. Not really like that, but it's dark up here. And it's like no hair over here. So he's like, man, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fix it up for you. So basically, how he cut my mustache really thin. He had to do some. It don't look like I got a mustache right now, but if I get close, like I don't know the quality of this shit, but I got a real thin mustache and it looks like it's drawn on. You feel me? But with accuracy. So he nailed that shit. You feel me? He cleaned that shit up for me nice. But
yeah, this don't look bad.
I appreciate that. But it's just interesting because a lot of times, like in the beauty industry, you guys use a lot of math and like fractions and shit. Like y'all use numbers in this shit. Like this ain't no game. This is a business.
It's not a game.
Like it ain't just about the money and the numbers and the traffic and the analytics. Like you actually gotta measure, what you're doing and shit. You gotta know what you're doing.
You don't want to cut nobody's hair off and then.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to burn nobody's scalp and all of that either. You know what I'm saying? You use like chemicals and.
I know. I've been through it.
Word.
Yes, I know. It's not a good feeling.
Yeah. So that's what happened to me. That was today. That happened to me today.
Oh man.
Also, what happened to me is I got a client who just keeps unfolding more things to me. She's not a client because she's not onboarded yet, but she's interested in doing business with me. But I'm like, she's telling me more and more about what she does, and I'm realizing like, well, this is some high level shit because she's managing stuff for like the Super Bowl right now, putting together fights, for boxers, like whoever the new boxers are fighting, she's organizing that with a business managers. She's setting
Oh
up,
wow.
celebrities to perform at the Super Bowl. She does all that kind of stuff, So I'm calling her. She's in the middle on the phone. She's talking she's stopping her conversation to talk with her business partner, who's like representing Drake or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Stopping her conversation to talk to me.
So she's talking to two people at the same time.
Yeah. So no, she's talking to So I called her up. She's on the phone with another business manager, another business partner who has a role in managing these artists. You feel me? That's gonna be performing at the Super Bowl.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that dude, he can be talking to Cardi B, he can be talking to Drake or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But she's on the phone with him. I'm calling her. She's stopping the conversation with him to talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Hold
You're saying
on.
she's having him talk to you for her?
No, she's stopping her conversation to talk with me.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I like shit like that, and I look for things like that because what that shows cooperation.
Right.
Like you want to do business with people who are easily gonna cooperate with you. You don't want to have to pull teeth from nobody.
Exactly.
And there will be some times where you have to kind of be like a little slick, but majority of the time, if people are like just like, oh, I don't want anything to do, they're not even, you know what I'm saying? They're not worth your time,
Right.
So the property, exactly. So the property or the deal or whatever's going on, it could be a huge opportunity.
Right.
It could be $1 million opportunity, but it could be $100 million headache. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that. You feel me?
Yeah.
You want people who are compatible with you. So I look for things like that. Because what I noticed is that when people like you, they make it easy for you to get your way.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I noticed.
It's easy to get work done.
Exactly. But I've done my best to try and stimulate, questions out of you. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go because we've been on for about 2 hours now.
Good 2 hours.
A good 2 hours, you know what I'm saying? So I shared a lot, I shared a lot about myself. I want to learn more about who I'm speaking with.
Yeah, you can. You
will.
will.
Okay. So what do you envision that looking like?
You said what do I envision that looking like?
Mm-hmm.
I guess in our next segment.
Okay, you want to do installments in this motherfucker? You want to do installments?
Installment?
I'm coming with my next installment. Another one with Sarah and Brian. And normally I would not make them this long. You know what I'm saying? So it's like.
Yeah. That's my next one. I got a question. How long do you normally have your segment?
40 minutes.
Like, do you ever?
About 40 minutes.
Oh. See, we never talked about how long we would have the segment. We just did it.
Yeah. That's a part of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's a business model. How much time you gonna dedicate to it? Because I'm gonna tell you this right now. Like, after I tell you this, and going back to like neuroplasticity, you're not gonna be able to forget this shit. Because if I tell you this shit, you're gonna be like, oh man, like he's right. Like this is really like how it is. Like, so they're not gonna tell you this. So if you spend an hour on Zoom with me, right? And I spend an hour, how much time are we spending?
An hour.
Why?
Because we spent an hour.
You spend an hour, but I also spend an hour. So
The
how
same hour.
so how much time are we actually spending?
Knowledge.
No, no. How much time are we spending?
Together.
What do you mean? I said how much time are we actually spending?
Right. I'm telling you, we're spending time together.
We're not just spending an hour together. If I'm spending an hour and you spending an hour, we spending 2 hours.
It's not possible.
It's not possible. Okay, well let me
No,
try
it's
to.
not.
I'm gonna break it to you another way because this is another reality. This is how, like when you manage people
Mhm.
and when you like when you move with like a sense of urgency and when you want to take things and scale things up, you got to think about it. Like, say you're Sarah, right? Sarah Kambamba, right?
Correct.
And
You said it right.
you are excellent. What do I get? High five?
Yeah, high five.
No. So
You was struggling the other day.
I was struggling,
Yeah, I was trying to say it.
trying to say what?
My last name.
Yeah, I was. Well, you got the meaning of it yet?
But no, I mean, I'm still researching. Like, I'm trying to really narrow it down. I'm getting different stuff on
3
different
days.
sites. I'm just like, okay. And one site said that they don't really know the meaning of it. I'm just like, well, then who does?
Try breaking it down into like ka and then bam and then ba, and then try to see if you get a quicker meaning like that.
Okay.
And
I'll try that.
and this is a study. It's called Omnostics.
Omnostics?
Omnostics is the study of names.
Okay.
So
I'll look into that tonight.
yeah, multicultural, and also how names are multiculturally impacted, when you go to different time zones and things like that. So what was I talking about before this? Oh yeah, so neuroplasticity, right? I was talking about that, and then I was making a point with something. Oh yeah, time, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
if you're Sarah
You're saying
Kambamba,
that we had 2 hours.
say you manage 20 people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you need to call 20 people together for a meeting. Like you running a fucking company, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you need to call 20 people to meet because you have an important update to share with 20 people. And you're gonna spend an hour educating your team on this specific update.
Mm-hmm.
So keep in mind, you a business owner now. You're in a position of wealth and power. You are responsible for not only your life, but the lives and welfares of everybody else, around you that work with you to make this business successful. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't make sure that this business is profitable, well, your team don't eat. They don't get to feed their children. They struggle. They struggle. Their relationships and their home relationships fall out because you know what I'm saying. You out of whack. You feel me?
Right.
So when you have other people with you working on you, it's a lot of responsibility. So you have to kind of think like this. You have to think like this straight up. So if you assemble a group of 20 people and 20 people are simultaneously spending an hour of their time getting this update, getting this knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Then 20 hours were actually spent, 20 labor hours.
Oh, I get it. I get it now.
You get it now?
Yes, that makes sense. Because first I was like, how is it 2 hours if we both spent 1 hour technically together?
Right.
Or over the phone, whatever. I never really thought like that. Wow, that's amazing. So you really can't waste time.
There you go.
Time is luxury.
Exactly. There you go.
Wow.
There you go. There you
go. And I
go.
tweeted that today.
Yeah, so I mean, just to let you know, like you're gonna be dealing with different levels of investors. Someone's only gonna have 10 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand, 500 grand. You don't let that impress you. A million, don't let that impress you. 10 million, you know, what you know what I'm saying? You know, 50 million, okay, you know, I like what I'm hearing. You know what I'm saying? So that's the level. And when you get to a point of, like, you got to understand, like, there's a reason why 1% of the population owns over 50% of the available wealth on the planet, while 99% of the population is left with this half, you know what I'm saying? Or close to nothing. And it's,
I think I know why.
Why is that?
Because that 1% was willing to do the work. Everyone doesn't want to do the work. They just want to get to that. Like, oh, I want that, but are you willing to do the work to get that? And a lot of people are just like, oh, I don't feel like doing that. I don't want to do it. Oh, that's too much. Like, they complain. Like to complain. But then when they see that one person do it, like, oh my gosh, how did you do it? Well, what do you mean? Simple. Right. I did the work.
Right. You put the work in.
Right. That's the answer to it, honestly. It's simple, but they don't want to do it. You have to want to do it.
Exactly. You know, and the other thing is that people are going to challenge you when you begin to elevate your mind in this way. They might say, well, you know, the 1%, you know, they're wealthy because they inherited everything.
Not all the time.
Absolutely.
And even if you do inherit it, some of them don't know how to maintain it. Like, somebody can be rich and be born into riches, but they do it all. So that's not always the case.
I'm gonna give you some more game. You ready?
I'm ready. Always ready. I was born ready.
Word. I like what I'm hearing. So, in actuality, all wealth and all money is inherited.
You're right.
Why am I right, though?
Because you're right.
Because I'm just right. I know shit, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, I want you to know why, you know what I'm saying? Because knowing why something is, it empowers you. Because when you know why, you'll begin to come up with, why is like kind of teaching you how to fish. You feel me? Like, when you know why something is the way it is, I could tell you, I don't know, this lot out here is vacant or whatever. Just nobody wants it. Well, that information is not really valuable unless I tell you why nobody wants it. Exactly. So if I tell you this lot is vacant because the freaking soil got tested and it was tested to be chemically poisonous, and, you know, the city wants us to avoid this area at all costs, and that's why there's new fences put up and all of that, then you understand why. You know what I'm saying? Now you know not to fuck with that shit, so you can move on to something else. Unless you're a freaking scientist, you have a cure for that soil. You know what I'm saying? You have a company that cleans and restores terrain or whatever. You know, but there's opportunity in everything. Never forget that. You know,
no doubt.
Because if every challenge does not present an opportunity, then we're just complaining. You know? There's always an opportunity. But
that's true.
Going back to all wealth being inherited, all wealth is inherited whether one person gives it to you or a million customers do.
I like that.
You fuck with that?
That was well said.
I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? It's well written. You know, because so I've been saying that shit for years. You know, so
my first time hearing it today.
Or, you know, somebody, I can give you $1 million. Okay, that you got your wealth that way, or a million customers can, you know what I'm saying, can give you $1 million, you know?
Right.
So it's the work, you know what I'm saying? You put the work in no matter what, like, there's really no excuse for this shit. All wealth is inherited, period. So you know that the way to get it is through sharing a life enhancing solution.
Right. It would take me to have a problem solver.
It would take you what?
It takes me or that person to solve a problem. That's the way you can accumulate wealth.
Exactly.
If you can't solve a problem, no one's gonna give you anything.
Wow, that's cold.
That's how life works.
That's cold. I like that. I like that a lot.
Because think about it. What are you to me if you can't solve a problem? You're nothing. I don't need you.
Are we still recording in this bitch? Yes, we are.
Yeah, we're still
All
recording.
right, awesome. Because this shit is gold right here. I like that. You preaching
Think
right
about
now.
it. If you can't solve anything, what are you really doing?
What are you worth?
Nothing.
What's your value?
You're wasting your time.
Wow. Wow.
And you can't waste time.
Exactly.
Can't waste time.
And you know why now? Because it's always, we spend 1 hour on this. It's 2 people. We spend 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And there's always an opportunity cost. You say yes to something, you say no to something
Right.
else. The moment you say yes to something.
Definitely.
You know? So yeah, on the time thing, I can go deeper with the time. But another thing is that I don't believe that everyone has 24 hours in a day.
You think it's more or less?
I think that everyone has a different amount of hours in every day. I think that everyone starts out with 24 hours in a day. But I think the wealthy, what they do is they have thousands of hours.
And why do you think that?
Well, think back to that example of you calling a room of 20 people together for a meeting, right?
Right.
So all those people, they're spending 1 hour in that meeting, but they're also spending their lives in your company.
Ah.
So each one of those persons, they have 24 hours in the day, right?
Right.
So if you got 20 people times 24 hours in the day, what is that, like 240 hours?
Yeah.
You know, 240 hours of time that you have access to per day.
Wow, I really thought of it like that. Like, you really make people think. I mean, I think, but it's like, wait. Wow. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. It is.
I need to change the way I think.
I mean, we still on this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I got confused real quick.
Me too. I get confused all the time.
All
This
right.
video here, audio on the phone.
Word.
Yeah.
So,
And it's clear too.
So how do you feel about that?
How I feel about what?
How do you feel about looking at time in a new light?
I feel good. Like, I never really thought of it like that. Like the way you explained it to me, it makes so much sense. It's like, wow. Like, I mean, I always hear people say, you can't waste time, don't waste time. But the way you explained it is like, okay, you really can't waste time. No.
Mm-hmm.
It's like way more informative. Like, you really can't waste time.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you want to like really buckle down. Like, wow, I don't have much time. I mean, you do, but you just can't waste it. Like, use it wisely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the way you explained it. Like, yeah, you really explained it the way I need to know.
Mm.
Hold on one second. Okay, what was I saying?
You just like, you like how I explained it. You really can't waste time.
Yeah. So, like, the way you explained it was like an eye-opening. Like, wait, hold on. Yes, you really can't waste time. You know? Just the way you put it was well put.
So like I said, it helps understanding why. Like I can tell you, hey, don't waste time, don't do this, don't do. But that's not doing nothing for nobody. You know?
Right.
Like you gotta understand, you know, that like what we do, it affects everything. You know what I'm saying? So if you really want to make a major bag, you're gonna be affecting people. Like you don't have to. Like you can make $1 million with as little as 6 people.
Even one.
Well, I mean, you're gonna have to partner with somebody because it's an exchange. Somebody's got to do, you know, escrow and all that, and you know, bankers and stuff like that. But like, it doesn't take a whole lot of people to get the opportunity that you know you need to get off the ground. It only takes a few people.
You'll definitely need it. Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So, but like, that's why I kind of pretty much move at the level that I move at. Like, I'm really you know, like this calendar isn't all the way filled out, but I make sure I have like my calendar and shit, you know, and I'm looking at it like every day, making sure that
organized.
Exactly, you know, like I'm just making sure that I have things in front of me, you know, readily available, and I'm really bad at managing my calendar. I fucking suck at it, but I get it done. I make sure I do it. Like I feel like I'm not good at it because I feel like I'm not really consistent with it, you know. So, I mean, like we all have things to improve on, but one thing is I could show you this.
Sure. Do you feel like you need a reminder to tell you like when to do a task, or you just don't?
You know what? I have pretty good memory, but what I need is accountability. And accountability is when other people are working on things with you. So you have that kind of energy. It's like, okay, I'm moving forward with something. Like I have my cousin helping me out with something right now because she's helping me refine a few resumes for me. So she's actually helping me because I don't have like my resume. I just never got that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I just wanted to focus on straight business.
Right.
But she's using her knowledge because she's like more on the corporate side. So she's giving me game on how to actually structure a resume and stuff like that.
Right.
So like, for example, like when it comes to time, a lot of people be like applying for jobs and stuff, but they don't know like the process. So the challenge is I can't find a job. I'm not saying I can't find a job, you know, I'm good, but like when people say like, oh, I can't find a job, or I'm having a hard time finding the position that I want or whatever, like going back to, oh, how do you overcome a challenge? You gotta look at your process. What's your process? You know what I'm saying? So your process begins with where are you right now? What's your current reality? And what's your desired outcome? Right? So the start point is what your current reality is, and the ending point is what your desired outcome is.
Right.
And so the process is going to have to be the bridge between these two. Your current reality, desired reality. Once we draw the bridge, your current reality becomes your desired reality. And now we can take on a new project once you have a greater vision than you did in the past.
Yeah, I like that.
Exactly. So.
Yes. But see, you have good memory. So what's making you forget to do the task on your calendar? Because you have it written down right there.
Well, see, it's not about forgetting. It's about like when you're like an entrepreneur, you gotta manage yourself. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we all have to manage ourselves, period. Like we just work in regular jobs or whatever we're doing, we have to make sure we get up and we do our thing, you feel me? But when you have your own operation or when you have multiple operations, you have to really manage yourself like to the 100x what you would normally do, because if you're relying on somebody else's system to basically provide for you, that might be what most people like. That's what most people want because they like to chill. You feel me? They like to lean back on what somebody else has done. You feel me? But then they complain about how much they're getting paid. You know what I'm saying? the other side is like, hey, let me take my destiny into my own hands and let me sell my soul to a high value
Right.
audience. Let me share my life enhancing solution. And my life enhancing solution is a part of my soul. I don't get offended if you don't want it or not, or if you think it's crap, because I know my value. Why would I be offended?
Right.
And just because you have money doesn't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? Money is just an incentive for me to be speaking to you. You know, it's just an
Exactly.
incentive for me to be able. Oh, hey, you might have. You might be a great client for this. It's like I don't like when I approach clients. I'm kind of like just like going back and forth because I want to just try to squeeze as much game into this as possible. So because I want you to like take some, like some serious games from this shit. So the way I approach like clients is I tell myself that and I believe this, like my service is way more valuable than any amount of money I could possibly receive from them.
Wow.
So I'm not,
That's amazing.
yeah, I'm not fucking thirsty for this shit. You feel me? They know like the way I act and the way I function is like they're coming to me with a problem. I'm the professional. I'm the pro.
Right.
So I'm the one that's telling them what to do, how to get their shit together. They're just paying me money. I'm spending my time. You feel me?
Right.
Time is the real deal. And we just define that,
Right.
So
It is.
like all money is a method of exchange and it holds a lot of power because we can do a lot with it. There's a lot of benefits to it, but ultimately money is simply exchanged for a skill set, labor of some kind. Like what's the last thing you ate?
Chipotle.
Okay, perfect example. So when and how much you spend on Chipotle?
I actually didn't spend it. I got it for free.
How much would you spend on Chipotle? That's good that you
like
got
$7.
That's what's up. Okay, so $7, right?
Yeah.
So if you spend $7 on Chipotle, and I'm gonna need like a few of those, so I'll probably spend like $21 because I like to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm skinny and shit, but I like to. You feel me? I get down. So I'm not that type of dude. Oh, just give me a bite of your burrito, I'll be good. No, give me several burritos.
See.
And in the next 20 minutes, give me several more.
Nah, I don't judge. You do what you gotta do. So you hungry.
Word. I'm hungry all the time, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so
I'm opposite. My stomach is like this long.
Word.
Really. Yeah. I can eat one meal and be good the whole day. Swear.
Really?
Yeah, like I've been the same weight since high school. Like I haven't changed.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
You've been the same way since high school?
Yeah, since high school.
So if I would have went to high school with you and you would have never
see me now.
Like you would have just been one of them weird chicks with like, I don't know what they had at your school or whatever, but usually get like pizza and shit and all schools have that shit, that pizza, that square pizza or
that square nasty pizza.
That shit crazy. Yeah. So you would have ate like a bite of that and I would have been in your food every day. Like, hey, give me that. You ain't gonna eat that, give me that.
I was the girl. That was me.
All right. You was actually giving food away?
Most of the time, yes. Yeah. Like, Sarah's not gonna finish that.
Word?
Yes.
Wow. So Sarah not gonna you feeding the team and you driving everybody home.
Yup.
Wow.
The giver. I'm always giving.
That's great. I mean, if you're always giving, you're always in abundance. You're always in a state of abundance. But I will tell you one thing, you know what I'm saying? My last job, I worked at Taco Bell. And it was fucking awesome. It was the best job I ever fucking had.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Why was it the best job?
That's a fantastic question. The reason why it was the best job I ever had was because I was going into it with the mentality of, I'm not here for the money. I'm here for the information.
That's what's up.
You only paying me $8.50 an hour, saying that that's what my time is worth. So basically, I'm volunteering. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because what is that going to do? You know what I'm saying? But I put myself beyond that, and I said, hey, man, like, you want to own franchises one day, you want to own multiple restaurants and shit. Go and get this training now, so you ain't walking in there dumb, deaf, and blind. 5 years from now, like, what I'm saying, with a bag. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Get in there now. You feel me? Understand the systems. Understand how this shit operates. So I learned a whole lot from that experience. I spent about 90 days there. I told myself I'm gonna make it 90 days. I did that. You feel me? I got out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I absorbed information like real quick.
Good.
I'm not always the fastest executor, but I'm the fastest supplier. So if you teach me something new and I find that valuable, I'm gonna apply it right now. That's just who I am. But it takes me time to actually execute something because I want to execute it perfectly. I'm a perfect motherfucker. You feel me? I'm one of them niggas that I gotta get this shit perfect. You feel me?
Yeah.
And the reason the reason why I gotta get it perfect is because I value time. You feel me? And if I get it perfect, that means that it's easier on everybody else that I pass the system along to.
I like that.
So it's worth the time that I'm putting in because I'm saving my squad time in the future. They don't even know it. You feel me? But I'm putting in time on these systems, getting this shit right so that they don't have to spend so much time trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? They can just get to the bag.
It out.
Exactly.
So you're trusting the process, not rushing it. Because a rush process is will make the next person go back trying to figure out.
So I'll be spitting some gems right now. This is why I can't end this. You know what I'm saying?
And it's like, well, what was the point of me going through all of that if you're gonna go back trying to figure it out? It makes no sense.
Exactly.
So I might as well not saying take my time, but utilize my time to get it right. So when I'm passing it on to you, you got it. Because I got it.
Word. That's poetry.
Yes.
That sounds like music to my ears. Like that's like you get it, you understand.
Yeah, see? It was meant for you to meet me.
Oh, you think so?
I don't think, I know.
Well, we're gonna find out. I mean, but I like adventures. Sometimes I like surprises too.
Who doesn't like surprises?
I just don't like surprises in business.
Why?
Why?
So like good surprises or bad surprises? Because it's a difference.
Good surprise. Yeah, there's definitely a difference. I don't like the bad surprises. I like to be prepared for those. I like to actually assume, hey, what are we going to be surprised? This is the question I ask before I actually solidify some shit. What are we going to be surprised by? What could potentially happen that completely hurts? Somebody gonna die? Am I gonna die? Am I gonna get shot, arrested? What's gonna happen? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's good with this shit? Like, how do we prepare for this shit so that you're not affected? You know what I'm saying?
Right. But you can't prevent everything.
Right.
You just gotta let it flow.
Right. You can't prevent
everything. Because that'll stress you out.
Right.
You don't need that.
Right. I don't think that's even how life is supposed to be lived. You feel me? Like, we live in life.
It's not. But that's how we're programmed. Like, man, do I have to live like that? No. I don't. Because think about it. If I was able to prevent the bad, I would never be stressed.
If you was able to prevent what?
The bad. Like bad surprises, bad things happening. If I was able to prevent that, I would never be stressed. Who would be stressed?
I'll be stressed because I'll be bored as hell. I'll be bored as a motherfucker. Why am I so fucking bored? Everything's going my way.
No, you wouldn't be bored. I promise you.
No?
You would not be bored. If everything went your way, you're telling me that you would be bored? No way. Because there's a lot of things that you want to do. I promise you.
Word. A lot of things that I want to do.
You would never be bored.
I would never be bored. I mean, I need
just wait.
Like I said, I mean, like a man need a challenge. Like I like earlier I was talking about like, you know, you're a woman. I pointed out you're a woman. I'm a man, right? So our energies are different. So masculine energy and feminine energy like complement each other, they coexist with each other, but they operate very differently. So like for me giving you this game, you're able, the way your mind works, the way your feminine energy works, is you're able to absorb much more information from what I'm giving you than the typical guy. You feel me? And the reason why is because you can intuit a lot of things. You can perceive a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? I can go like real deep into, cause I'm writing a book about this shit too. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, I know you said coming out 2021.
Yeah. Word. And I'm getting real deep and sophisticated. But the way that masculine energy like improves and grows, we go through challenge. We go through risk. We grow through criticism. You know what I'm saying? You point out something that I'm not doing right. I may not fucking like it, but I know that it makes me better. So I accept the shit. But this is how our energy grows as men. And, you know, the way we learn is that men need like a step-by-step logical process for everything. Everything. Like without a fucking list saying step 1, step 2, step 3, pause, step 4. Like without that shit, ain't nothing happening. You feel me? We lost. We're gone.
Yeah.
But with women, it's different.
But you saying that, it brings me back to what I always say. A man without a woman is handicapped.
You always say that?
Yeah, I always say that.
A man without a woman is handicapped?
For sure. A man without a good woman is handicapped.
That's interesting that you say that. Because
I always say that.
I be in and out of like beliefs sometimes. Like, you know, I understand the value that a woman could add to a man's life. You know what I'm saying? Especially a very purpose-driven one. But I see what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it is what it is. You know, it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I find it's just easier to like women learn faster. They pick up on things a lot faster. And guys, if they want to pick up on things, they have to train themselves. Like I had to train my brain to pick up on things fast. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to work for that, but you got that shit naturally because that's just how you are. You know, that's just how women are. You know what I'm saying?
Regardless.
So it's just facts. It's something I really noticed and I think it's really true. Oh yeah. So I was gonna show you this.
What's that?
This is a stakeholder map. It's very basic. But this is also another seed that I'm planting. And I do that on purpose so that you wanna read it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a stakeholder map. And this is basically I'm gonna let you read it, you can read it.
Okay, thanks. And what direction is it going? Does it matter, or?
So
I see arrows.
So you see, like down here it says interest, and here it says power or influence. So these boxes represent a certain type of stakeholder, and a stakeholder is just any individual or group or community or anything that has an impact in your success with anything.
Mm.
So to put it in like layman's terms, say you got a property that you want to invest some money in, you know,
Right.
and now you got to market the opportunity to other partners so that they can put the money up with you to invest in the property. So now what you created was you created stakeholders, because stakeholders are the group of people that you're contacting that might have an impact in you being successful in acquiring this property. Does that make sense?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so stakeholders like a customer or a partner, someone that benefits you in some kind of way.
Okay.
That's what that is. A stakeholder could be your dad, your mom, your sister, your family, brothers, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Me, anybody. Anybody that you feel has an impact in what you're trying to do, what your goal is, that's a stakeholder.
Mm.
And even competitors can be stakeholders as well, like your enemies, people trying to take money from, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, competing. I don't know if you got other Sarahs out there, you know what I'm saying, you know, trying to get clout. You feel me?
Yeah.
So basically, are you still looking at this?
No, I was done. I was listening to you.
All right, word. So you see how like you got different boxes, right? You basically got 4 categories, and then you have this is called, what is this called, a 2x2. So we have 2x2, 2 squares by 2 squares, 2x2 format. So you have the power and the influence of your stakeholder here. So it means the higher up they are, the more powerful they are, the more impact they have in your success in terms of how much they can benefit you.
Okay.
But the more to this way they are, I guess that's what is that? The right, the more to the right they are.
The least.
The least interested they are, because it's powered by interest.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? So you want to at the end of the day, your highest value stakeholders are going to be the stakeholders in your life that have the most power, the most benefit, they can benefit you the most, and they're also the most interested in working with you. Because you could call a whole bunch of people up with money or whatever, but they might not be interested in the property. So they're not really the highest value stakeholder.
Right.
So this red box right here is basically a stakeholder that has high power and high interest. And this right here is the action that you take with them. Can you read that?
Yeah, engage.
Right. It's coming up like backwards on my screen. It's like fucking crazy as hell. But
no, I can read it clearly.
Yeah, so that would be like a key player, and you engage them. So that's the action that you take. Like you engage them closely, and that makes sense because anyone that has a whole lot of power to benefit your success and impact your success, and who's highly interested in working with you, that's the one you want to talk to first.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody
makes
else.
Sense.
Exactly, but it gets kind of confusing when you're actually out in the field because you're dealing with multiple personalities and shit. And what you want to do is you want to get straight to the facts.
Correct.
So you want to, the 4 questions that I like to ask first is, okay, what's the budget?
Right.
How much are we looking to
Straight
invest?
to the point.
Straight to the point. Because if you ain't got no budget, then we can't do anything. We just
talking. Right.
We're just having a conversation like me and you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is valuable. We get value out of this, right? It's 2-way. But in terms of are we doing business or are we not? Like, let's make it, you know what I'm saying? So what's the budget? What's the
money looking like?
Exactly. What's the budget? And if they're like, well, I don't have a budget for, whatever. Okay, well, how much are you looking to invest?
Right.
So, and if I want to press motherfucker, I'll be like, well, is money going to be an issue?
Right.
Like straight up before we get into any details, is money going to be an issue? Oh, I didn't think about that. Well, why don't you go, call me back later after you're done thinking about that.
Oh man.
So
you're right.
That's just what it is. So the next question, which is very important, is I mean, you want to know how interested and committed they are, but you also want to know their timeline because somebody could have all the money in the world. You know what I'm saying? Say you need $1 million, somebody worth 50 million, they got a million to give you. You know, they might have a million for you, but they might not be trying to move that money till like 3 years from now or some shit. So are they really a high value opportunity in this moment in time? No. You know what I'm saying? Because they're, you know, it's like unless you kind of pivot the conversation to something they might be more interested in investing in now. And this is why you want to educate yourself on like performing notes because you'll be able to inform your investors of their options. And this is shit. This is white people shit that a lot of white people don't know about. So if you got a sister talking that shit, it lifts everybody up. It's like a whole new perception change because it's like, well, god damn, what the fuck, Shawty putting me on?
It's like an eye opener. Like, oh shoot. Well, here's $1 million then.
Right, exactly.
Fuck the 3 years.
There we go. There we go. You know? And it becomes a lot easier. Yeah, it becomes a lot easier to give you that money when you ask the right questions because the questions that you ask allow them to take you seriously, and that means trusting you and them knowing that you have high intentions for them and that you're capable of getting the work done.
Right.
You know? So like people would like, you know, these are the general 4 categories. So I actually created a system myself that basically split this into 64 different categories. And I had a software engineer take a look at it and he wanted to build out a database based off of what I created, you know, like a CRM, customer relationship management software and different things like that. So like I do a lot of different things, you know what I'm saying? I got my hand on a lot of different things, but if they have a lot of power, you know what I'm saying? So if they have like a lot of money, but they're not interested in doing shit right now, then what you want to do is you want to meet their needs.
Right.
Keep them satisfied. You know what I'm saying? You want to pivot the conversation and say, okay, well, it looks like you're not interested in pursuing this opportunity within a time frame that you know is doable right now. So what are we looking to do? What else are you looking into getting into? Have you checked out these? Have you looked into this? You know, I'm just kind of like blah 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 because I'm gonna keep it, you know.
Yeah. So you like ask them. So what are you in need of?
Exactly.
Like how can I help you?
There we go. See, and it would take most men. It would take like I would have to do like 5 of these talks to have to get that shit for them to get and understand. But you already spitting it back to me. That's crazy.
Not crazy.
That's
true.
It's
dope. Real.
That's dope. That's royal right there. That's insane. So yeah, you keep digging basically. You get grimy, you get as dirty as not like dirty, you're not like filthy, but
no, I get it.
You dig, you feel me? You dig deep.
Yeah.
Bring the shovels out. And you keep asking because sometimes you might say, okay, so like what are you? Well, I'm not really. And you ask the same question 4 different times in 4 different ways.
Different ways,
trying to tell you a fucking answer. Well, actually, you know what?
Well, technically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you get it out of them.
Exactly.
Because it's in there, just go get it out.
Exactly. And you know they have your money, so you comfortable. You feel me? You good.
Exactly.
You know, so you know
you're like,
yeah.
My money right there, I'm gonna go get it.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's what it is. And obviously, you know, like these positions change all the time. So somebody could have like, you know, somebody could not be interested in you at all. You feel me? Like they could have no power, no interest at all. So the action is, you know, they're least what did that say? I don't know what the fuck that shit says.
Least important.
Least important.
Minimal effort.
And then minimum effort, yeah. So they're the least important. There's the minimum effort. Doesn't mean you forget about them.
Right.
But it just means like you maintain minimum contact. You might hit them up twice a year or whatever, every 6 months.
Right.
You know, just to check
every
in.
90 days.
Every 90 days, send some information, educate them, inform them. And the reason why you do that is because you're nurturing a relationship over time.
Correct.
You know, and their positions could change.
Well, you never know.
Anybody could come up at any time. So you always treat everybody with respect, but you respect yourself first by sorting them into the category that they belong in now.
No doubt.
Until actions prove otherwise, you know? And part of a client's actions or a prospect is, you know, they make things easy for you. If people are revealing a lot of information to you and they're talking, means they like you.
Right.
You know, I do this, you know what I'm saying? Don't mean that I like you, you know what I'm saying? But I speak and I give my value because I see value, you know what I'm saying? I don't give to what, if there's no value there, I'm not giving shit, you know what I'm saying? There has to be something already there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And part of what I value is an interest and willingness to learn. Because if you don't even have an open mind or you're not receptive to the information, well, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? You're not going to do anything with it.
Exactly.
You know?
When the student is ready, the teacher will come.
When the student is not ready, the teacher will get the fuck out of here.
That too.
Yeah.
Really. I like that one better. Oh my goodness. You're funny, man.
Appreciate that.
That was good. That was a good one.
So,
yeah, you need to write a book. What made you want to say, hey, I'm writing a book?
Well, a lot of people have actually encouraged me to write a book. I mean, a ton of people. So I keep hearing it over and over and over again. And I just got to a point where I realized, like, wait a minute. Wait, what the fuck am I doing? I know shit. I'm valuable. I got a lot of shit to teach. Let me put this shit in the motherfucking book so motherfuckers can learn this shit. You know, so.
You need to write a book.
And the other thing is that me writing a book is like a form of intellectual property. So it's a form of my soul. So once I complete the finished product, it can be duplicated, and you know, 1 million people can buy it, 100 people can buy it, 100 million people can buy it, whatever. It's duplicatable. You know what I'm saying? So I finish the product one time, I get paid for it multiple times over.
But don't just stop at the book though. Mm-hmm. Make a movie.
Word. Oh, you talking movies now.
Make it big, like you can go as far as you can. Don't just stop right there with the book. Wow. That's just getting started with the book. Oh, you go far. Come on now.
Wow, that's interesting. I ain't planning to be all famous and shit and all that, you know what I'm saying? But
too late. You already are. You just don't know.
Too late.
Yeah, you already are. What do you mean you're not planning on? It wasn't for you to plan. It's already there. You don't see it? I see it. You just don't see it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know.
I'm sorry. I don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? I know my
barber. Don't be sorry.
I know my barber gonna be famous for fixing my mustache like this. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I'm gonna send. I don't give a fucking I mean, like, he even cut me too here. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, damn.
But, you know, it was an accident or whatever. But the way he had this septic powder or whatever, you put that shit in there, that shit disappeared. Cut gone. Like, it was just like, what the fuck? So it was magic.
But no, seriously, you're gonna look back and be like, she told me. You know, remember this day. What's the name? The 6th? December? Yeah. It's already there. You just don't see it. I see it. And I'm letting you know right now.
I'm gonna be like this the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Be like, you know.
Well, you're gonna be like, damn, she told me.
Oh yeah.
No doubt. I told you, I always get it right the first time. I didn't lie when I told you that. That's what I knew. Well, that's what I know about myself. I found it out.
Did we get it right the first time?
Yes, that's what I said.
All right, what's my favorite color?
See, it doesn't work with stuff like that.
Oh, now it don't work like that. Oh, okay. Okay, you got limitations. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. It's
like,
just...
my powers, I know when it's like, you know, there. You just can't ask me a question and then I'm just gonna sit there and give it to you. Nah, it don't work like that. It's when I even least expect it. It just comes. It's like, oh wow, it's right there.
That's dope.
Thank you.
That's dope. That's real dope. Oh yeah, so I got these questions here that I was actually gonna run through my client with, but they were busy on the phone. You know what I'm saying? And so we scheduled it for next week, a call. I mean, would you like me to share these questions?
Yeah, I would say ask me the question.
Yeah?
Yeah. Why not?
Okay.
I could be the client.
All right, for sure. All right, so I call clients, but I don't do that last name shit. So Sarah, so the purpose of our call today is basically to pinpoint exactly how I can help you, whether we be a good fit, and to basically give you a clear future on how you can get your desired outcome.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent, excellent. So first and foremost, is it okay if I ask you a few questions?
Sure.
Excellent, excellent. My first question is, how much are you looking to invest?
I am looking to invest however much is needed for me to obtain the outcome.
Okay, that's fucking awesome. Are you looking to invest under 250,000 or over 250,000?
Over.
Over 250,000? Are you looking to invest under 500,000 or over 500,000?
Under 500,000.
Under 500,000? Are you looking to invest over 300,000?
Yes.
How much exactly do you think you'd be investing?
455,000.
455,000? Okay. And what's your desired return on that? What do you want that 455,000 to net for you?
About 2 million.
Do you want to turn that 455,000 into 2 million, or you want 2 million added on top of that 455,000?
2 million added on top of that.
Added on top of that. Okay. So a little calculator here. So you want a total return. This includes your principal and your gains of 2,455,000.
Correct.
Okay. So basically what you're doing is you're going to 5x your capital. Now, what's your timeline for investing your capital? How soon would you be willing to basically invest your capital, move it from your account into this investment? How soon would you be willing and able to do that? Provided that you decide you want to move forward with the opportunity.
6 months.
6 months. So if we decide that this investment is a phenomenal investment for you, it's secure, it's going to produce X amount of return for you, 5x return. If we decide that this is what this investment is if it's a match, you're willing and ready, and you'll be able to move your money 6 months from now.
No doubt.
Okay. What's your time frame for receiving your investment back? So you put the so let me rephrase this. So you're investing 455,000
Mm-hmm.
and into whatever the fuck, right? We're not.
Right.
So you're investing 455,000 and your desired return is 2 million on top of that, right? So your 455,000 is your principal investment or your initial investment. And your $2 million would be your gain, your return. What I'd like to know is how fast do you want your principal investment returned back to you? The 455,000.
Within a year.
Within a year.
So from
Okay.
when I gave you the 455, 6 months after that, so 6 more months added after that.
So you want the 455,000 back in 12 months
Correct.
after you've exchanged the capital. Okay, after you've invested it.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. All right. So if we break that down into quarters, then basically every 3 months you would receive a quarterly payment of, it's also known as a dividend. So a dividend is this: you would receive $113,750 every 3 months for 1 year until you get that 455,000 back. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So dividend, is that like a share?
Dividends are a payout that you receive from owning a share.
Oh, okay.
You know, but in this case, these dividends would be your principal dividends because the capital that you want to invest, I mean, just because you want to make that $2 million return, but the most important thing is making sure that your capital that you're investing is secure and returned back to you.
Yeah.
Like first and foremost, because whatever you're investing, you want to make sure that that is secure and you're guaranteed to get that investment back. Guaranteed as much as possible, you know. And that what that does is that protects you from unnecessary loss. However, if you don't make the $2 million, it's still a loss because you lost time. You know, where you could have been investing in something else that actually got you a return on your money. And then you also have to adjust for inflation. Because, you know, if $10 today is going to be worth $9 next year, you know what I'm saying? That's really not a big deal. But if $10 million today is going to be worth $9 million next year, that's kind of a big deal. Like, that's like, well, wait a minute. Where the fuck did my millions
what the hell happened?
Exactly. So, because when we get to a certain level of numbers, like the stakes are really critical. We're talking millions of dollars can be potentially lost from just not having your money in the right place at the right time. So before we move forward with this investment decision, my goal is to make sure that I give you the best recommendation possible, and that you have a clear future, that I eliminate as much uncertainty for you as possible, and so that you know at least that this investment is something that's going to minimum get me my principal investment of 455K back. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Now we're going to get into the return portion. Do you have a specific timeline for when you like that 2 million paid back to you?
I would say within 2 years.
Within 2 years, 24 months. And do you need that 2 million back in dividends, or do you want it all back in lump sum? Do you want it back in payments over time? Do you want it back in increments, or do you want it all back in like just one $2 million payout
Over time.
over time? And why is that?
I gotta eat.
Okay, you gotta eat. All right, makes a lot of sense. You know what I'm saying? So basically, once you get your principal return, to you, which is the original 455K you're investing, that 2 million will immediately begin getting paid out to you back over a period of 24 months. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And if this investment, if this investment is capable of paying you in quarterly payments, then what that looks like is this. So you have 2 million divided by 2, divided by 4. So that basically looks like $250. You receive $250. You receive 250,000. Sorry about that. I'm getting a little tired. East Coast time, you know what I'm saying? 250. You know, you over there in Paris, Paris. You know what I'm saying? Which is like 13 hours ahead or something. All right, so you're getting paid basically 250,000, $250,000 every 3 months until you get your full $2 million return back, and this is your gains on top of your principal.
Jeez.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, cool, awesome. Now, when do you need an assessment completed by? Because now we're talking about the investment, and you originally sought my services out to find a professional who can analyze an investment for you on your behalf. And I also said that if it was necessary, I would collaborate with other professionals to do so. But what I would like to know is, when do you need a final recommendation completed by?
Within a week from today.
So within a week from the day, that is a pretty tough time frame to meet, considering I'm already dealing with multiple projects on my plate. Would you be willing to extend that time frame to 4 weeks?
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay, and before I go any further, is there any reason why you had such a fast time frame?
To be honest, I just gave a time frame.
I'm fucking with you. You feel me? I'm just like, we got a character now, but I'm like, you know what I'm saying? But I would actually say something like that, because my thing is like, I'm the perfect. Like, I'm not a character now, but my thing is like, you know, I'm the problem solver. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that you know what I'm saying, that you know what I'm saying, that you being taken care of. You know, I'm looking after you, and I'm here to inform you. I'm on your team. I'm on your side, but I'm also going to challenge you a little bit to make sure that I got to make sure that my clients are on my side as well. You feel me? Because I'm not just an order taker. You know, I got shit going on. You feel me? I don't care. You got 100 million to throw at me. You feel me?
Right.
I mean, I might stop a few things and like, let me. But hey, you know, my word is.
But one thing I learned though, you don't want to be too available.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're too available, then they're like, well, what do you do? Like, what are you doing then?
Exactly.
Because if you give them a spare time, like, well, 1 week, I can't do that in a week. I could probably do it like in about 4 weeks. Is that okay? Then they look at you like, oh yeah, he really busy. He a busy man. Like, he really got his work, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what I learned. Like, you don't want to be too available, because then they're looking at you like,
right.
Make them want to scratch their head.
Exactly. And the thing is that when you function at a high level, a lot of these high level, sophisticated people, they always got stuff going on. They're always doing something. Exactly. You know, their days are planned, even if they're just lounging around. Their version of lounging around is not our version of lounging around. Like they're lounging around on the yachts and
Exactly.
cross country. You know what I'm saying? Hey, let's go take a trip. Let's go to the beach. You know, they fly to a beach. You feel me?
Right.
Overseas. You feel me? So
Hell yeah.
that's what it is.
Uh-huh.
So and what kind of assessment do you want? Do you want a yes or no recommendation? Do you want a high involvement feasibility study? This is something very complex, but it's highly detailed. Do you want just a verbal recommendation, written format? What does my finished product for you look like in your mind?
I want the honest truth. Like I want the good, the bad, the ugly, everything.
Okay.
No sugarcoat.
Okay. And how would you like that information presented to you? Do you want me to say it? Do you want me to write it up in a proposal? Do you want me? How do you want me to deliver that information? Oh. Can you hear me?
My headphone died. Wait.
Oh, that's dope. It's a movie. It's a movie. Yeah, we've been collaborating for a long ass time. Sometimes when you do that, you know, we might have to make a shorter one.
Alright, back in action.
Yo, we might have to make this one for us, and then we're gonna have to make a shorter one.
I'm sorry. I was not prepared.
We might have to make a shorter one for these subscribers, man. Cause I'm enjoying this. That's why I'm having fun. That's why when I'm enjoying something, I don't like to be fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, let's whatever. You know what I'm saying? I got time today. I usually do.
I know, like today I was supposed to actually get back to the book, but I got tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm good. That's why I'm not tripping.
Okay. You want? Is this boring you, or do you want to change the subject?
No, this is fun.
This is
honestly
fun?
Anything would have been okay with me.
Anything? I mean, you're like that would make you like a dork.
You said what?
That would make you kind of like a dork, wouldn't it?
You said it would make me like a dork?
It would make you a dork.
What do you mean by that?
Like a nerd.
Like a
fucking Poindexter.
I guess I'm a nerd.
You're totally a nerd. I'm a fucking nerd. I'm a gangster nerd.
You're a gangster nerd?
Word.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm a swagged out nerd. You know what I'm saying?
Swagged out.
Dripping saucy. So, okay, so it sounds
I'm just
like
an open-minded person. I don't close anything. I said I'm just an open-minded person. I don't close out anything. Are you frozen?
Nah, I was pretending to be frozen and shit.
I was gonna say I'm looking at my phone like, wait, what's happening?
Yeah, I'll be fucking with people like that. I'd be like.
You're a trip.
They're like, yo, what the fuck? Like, I was like, ah.
Gotcha.
Got him. You know what I'm saying? Hey, cuz something came for you in the mail today. You know? I said something came for you in the mail today.
Well, I checked the mail. I didn't see anything.
No, that was a joke. I'd rather not say. That was a joke by Michael Blackson. But yo, so Sarah, what is your desired outcome? How would you like the information presented to you that would help you make an informed decision?
Sorry, one more time.
So, how do you feel you need the information presented to you to where you feel like you can make an informed decision? Do you need to read it? You just need to hear it? What do you need in terms of receiving the product that you're requesting?
Both.
Both? Okay, so what I'll do,
If possible.
okay, definitely. So what I can do is I could do a basic feasibility study, and I can get a basic feasibility study for you completed in 2.5 weeks.
Okay.
So that's going to be about 18 days.
No problem.
Okay, so that basic feasibility study, I'll read it through you. I'll show it to you. Like I'll share my screen with you. I'll walk you through exactly what I did and how I analyzed the investment. I'll walk you through your exit strategies. Your exit strategies are basically how your capital is returned to you. So you have an exit strategy for your principal capital, the 455K you're putting in, and you also have an exit strategy for your return on your capital. So the return of your capital, return on your capital. I'll have those exit strategies defined for you, and I'll see if this is a realistic investment that can provide the level of performance that you're seeking.
All right.
If it's not, then we'll make adjustments, or we may have to look at another opportunity.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And are you open to, like, if this is not a sound investment and I advise against it, are you open to looking at other opportunities?
At the moment, no.
At the moment, no. So this is the only thing you're focused on right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so if this happens to not be a good fit, if I determine that this is not a good fit for your capital, then we can just recircle. You can just follow up with me whenever, or if you want to get back in touch 6 months from now, a year from now.
No, I'm pretty stuck on like what I really want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any reason in particular why you really want to invest in this opportunity?
Yeah, because it's what I always wanted.
Okay. And how long have you been wanting to invest in something like this?
Say like 10 years now.
10 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so this would be a dream come true if we were able to make this
happen
for you. Okay, awesome. Okay. So what I will do is I'll get that feasibility study accomplished for you in a 2.5 week time frame. So I can deliver that. And in terms of a partner model, in terms of how we can make this mutually beneficial, I think that since this would just be a one-off project, what I can do is I can value this and get back to you. So basically, if you're looking to invest $455,000, what I would normally charge is I would charge anywhere from $40,000 to $22,000 to produce this recommendation for you.
Okay.
Does that range work for you?
That works.
Okay. Do you have any questions or concerns about that range or how I came up with that?
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay, so you're comfortable with a range of 40,000 to about 20,000. Okay, so if I send you a proposal for something within that range, you'll feel comfortable signing off on it, like today, as soon as today?
But today.
Awesome, amazing, excellent. And the other question that I had for you was, I do actually charge an initiation fee. So prior to me sending you on the proposal for the range between 40,000 to 20,000, after I'm done evaluating the opportunity, we'll see what happens. I do have an initiation fee to move forward with me from this point on. And so I typically charge $5,000 initiation fee up front.
Okay. So is that initiation fee due the same day or?
That would be due prior to me sending you the proposal for the $40,000 to $20,000 range.
Oh, okay.
And there's no rush on your decision at all. I mean, just
No, I'm all for it.
all for it.
All for it.
So at the end of this call, I'll send you that payment link. As soon as that payment clears, that setup covers software, covers administration, and it covers your initiation. And then from there, I will have that proposal to you within about 24 hours. Within 24 hours, the proposal, and then what you'll do is you'll agree to the proposal, and if you want to move forward, pay that, and then after that, I can produce the feasibility study for you, and then that 2.5 week timeline begin. So after, does that make sense, or did I move too fast for you?
Kind of confused with the proposal. I thought it was going to be proposed to me in 4 weeks.
The finalized product would be delivered to you in 4 weeks out. But the proposal, and I can produce a study for you in 2.5 weeks, a very basic one. So that's the difference. So what I can do is I can quickly email you a template so you know what a basic feasibility study looks like versus an advanced and complicated one. So you have more of an understanding of exactly what you'd be receiving.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea.
Okay, that works best. The visuals work best. Okay. Yeah. So that's basically the difference between, say, hold on. Oh. So right here, I happen to have two templates handy. This is the basic feasibility study. That's how that looks. And then this would be the advanced feasibility study.
Oh, okay.
You know, and this just gets more into detail, gets more accurate, goes into forecasting and projections, and I rely on more, not just my own expertise for this, but I collaborate with other professionals to help me complete this complicated one. And
so remember, you're over the phone, so the client eye can't even see that. I said, but remember, we're over the phone, so I can't even see that.
We could be over the phone and we could be on Zoom, you know, but you see it now. Okay. You know? So, shit.
Just checking.
All right, we've been in character for a minute. This is a 6-hour collaboration. Like, what the hell are these motherfuckers? We talking some real shit.
Right.
You know, so that's what it is. You know, so that's what that looks like. And basically, you know, the differences between, obviously, the more complicated one would take more work and more energy and more effort and more time to produce. And that would have an impact on the cost of the proposal. So from your judgment, do you think you want to go with the basic study or the advanced study?
Advanced study.
The advanced study, and why did you make that choice?
It looks more approachable.
More approachable?
Yeah.
Okay, so
it looks like it was more detailed.
More detailed. So you value having accurate, precise information.
Correct.
Okay, I will get that for you. That's my promise.
All right. I want you to keep that promise.
Oh, now you G-checking me and shit. That's my promise. I will get that information for you.
All right.
So that's pretty much it. Do you have any other questions for me? And before I accept your initiation fee, have I satisfied all your needs thus far?
Yes, you have, Brian.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, so our next steps is I'll email you payment link for the initiation fee. And then what I'll do after that clears is you will receive an invoice for the advanced feasibility study. And then once that clears, also along with that invoice, you'll actually receive a timeline and schedule of when the phases of this feasibility study will be complete. So, week 1, I'll have an aspect of it completed. Week 2, I'll have an aspect of it completed, and so forth. And you'll get that with the invoice. And then once that's cleared, then I can begin getting to work. And I can produce that recommendation for you.
Okay. I do have one question, though.
Of course.
Would you be okay with communicating with my assistant going forward, or directly with me?
It just depends on the level of information required. I have no problem speaking with your assistant, as long as I have carte blanche, meaning that it's not going to be difficult for me to get the information I need from you in order to be able to work done. But because this feasibility study is pretty predictable, what we'll pretty much doing is, I don't know if you're familiar, but we'll use a waterfall project management method with this. Does that ring a bell?
I'm not familiar, no, but
doesn't ring a bell? Does the agile project management ring a bell? Come on, that was my comment. You remember that?
Oh, under the real estate thing.
Word.
Wow.
That was my comment. So basically, what we'll use is we'll manage this project using a waterfall-based method, because it seems like you got a lot of stuff going on, and this is a very predictable project. So basically, this project will just be completed in 4 phases, and I wouldn't have to really communicate with you too much. I could just tell you, your assistant can communicate for you when the phases are completed, basically. So I'd have no problem communicating with your assistant.
I think that's better, because I'm a very busy woman.
I see. What else are you into these days, other than investing in high-level opportunities?
I have 10 kids. It's a lot.
10 kids?
Yeah.
My goodness.
Can only imagine.
They do say a mother's job is the busiest job in the world. So.
Yeah.
So you're not just moving around M's all day. So this investment is actually for your kids.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay, so we got to get this done right. I'll make sure this is official.
Definitely.
Okay. Well, I've had a great time speaking with you, and I'll send that link. Thank you. I'll send that link over, and then we can go from there.
Awesome.
Sound good?
Oh, yeah. One more question. Do I need to download any app to receive the invoice, or would I just get that through my email?
It'll just be through your email.
Okay, perfect.
All right, excellent question. All right. And welcome to the family, Sarah.
Thank you.
All right. Talk soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
So that's pretty much how the call would go.
How it goes.
Yeah. So, and it's not that hard. You just need to know what to ask,
Yeah, I was trying to challenge you. I was trying to add shit that you probably never come across.
Well, that was pretty fun. I like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm ready for all that shit, because most of it is you really got to prepare for objections in advance. Let me think about it shit. It'd be a simple shit. So for example, say if I told you the price, you said, let me think about that and get back to you. Let me just talk it over with my assistant or whatever. Right? So try me.
Try me. Yeah. Have you ever came across
Try me, for real.
Oh, try you?
Yeah.
Alright.
So
Alright, give me a number.
Alright, so this is gonna cost $38,000 to fulfill this recommendation.
38,000? Oh no.
It's a ton of money. I understand it's a
That's
ton of money.
way beyond what I was thinking. $38,000.
Hmm.
I mean, my friend Mikey, he did tell me about this other guy. You know what? I think I might just call you back on that because 38,000. That's like way out of my pay grade.
Okay, I agree. I agree. It is a ton of money. It's absolutely a fortune. And $38,000, you can spend it anywhere. You can go on vacation with your kids. You can put, maybe one or two kids through private. I wouldn't say two and a half kids, but you could put a kid through private school with that. So there's a lot of
I don't have any
different
kids though.
options.
So
You don't have any
fine.
kids?
No kids.
I thought you had 10 kids.
I'm not the same person.
Oh shit.
I thought it was a different person
Okay.
that we're working with
All right,
here.
all right, we're a different person. Okay. So all right, well, I don't want to go on a little bit. Okay, well, yes, I agree. You're still Sarah though, right?
I guess, yeah, I'm so fair.
All right, so yes, Sarah, I do agree. It is a ton of money. However, when you're working with a professional like me and you're dealing with the level of talent that my team can bring to the table and offer you, um, it's only fair that your input would equal our output. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but 38,000. I mean, I hear you,
Mm-hmm.
but 38,000, I just can't do that. Like, I could do 20,000.
20,000.
Yeah, I could do 20,000. 38, that's just like way out.
Okay. Well, we would have an issue here if we were to move forward with the same level of service, because you requested an advanced study, did you not?
Yeah, but I wasn't thinking 38.
Okay. So what I can do is, and I normally don't do this. However, we've been engaging with each other for quite some time now, and so I'm just. hmm, I think I have to think about it and take a step back because um, maybe I have the wrong approach. But what I'm thinking is that rather than giving you the advanced study, what I can do is I can give you a hybrid version of the basic study and the advanced study. And what that would do is that would alleviate some of the energy and work that we have to put in. You'd still get a quality result.
I want the advanced study.
Okay.
I mean, I heard you when you said you'll think about it.
Mhm.
Just fine, you can think about it. And while you think about it, I'll hit up my man Mikey and see how much his man is gonna charge me.
Okay.
And then from there we can figure out.
Sure. If you just give me a call if you change your mind.
Awesome.
All
I'll
right.
definitely do that.
All right. Excellent talking to you. You have my email. You have my number. I'm only a call away.
All right. Nice speaking to you, Brian.
Nice speaking to you as well. All right. So.
I was trying to be the asshole client.
Well, you weren't no asshole. That's not no asshole client. The asshole client is like, I'll tell you what an asshole client is. The asshole client is, what's your background? How long have you been doing this? Why should I trust you with my money? Like, who are you? Why you got a map on your wall with writing next to it? Why are you wearing that shirt? Why is your hair cut like that? Why is your mustache open? That's the asshole client.
Screaming.
That's the asshole client. I don't even waste my time with that shit because it's not. It ain't even worth it.
So how do you exit out of a client like that?
You just say, okay, well, I just wanted to, check in with you and, see if you were interested in, receiving, some value. I understand if you don't want to move forward, and just give me a call if you change your mind. And you just get out of there. You exit. You just move up. You just like, you know what? You do that white people thing. You feel me? And then you just move out the you just coast out of it. You go smooth because you can't argue with emotion. Like if a
That's
client
true.
is frustrated and they're being an asshole, like you want to have a certain asshole meter. So it's like if you have an asshole meter of 1 to 10, you want to keep it under a 3. So the maximum a client is allowed to be an asshole with you at any given time is a 3. If they
Right.
go above that shit, I don't care if it's 3.1. You know what? Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be a good fit going forward.
Mm.
So
So don't even engage.
we
with
are
the
going to have to
bullshit.
terminate the relationship.
Right.
You know, and if they're like, no, they have to really want you.
Right.
Brian, I want you. I'll do anything. Well, anything, you know?
Stop
So,
being an asshole.
that kind of shit. You feel me?
Yeah.
Brian, I'm just really stressed right now. A lot of different things. Well, how do you think I feel? I'm the one solving your fucking problem.
Right.
Shit. So, you know, I mean, it might be a $10,000 problem, but you a $100,000 headache.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty much what it is. I mean, what do you think about all of this? It's what I do.
I think this is dope. Like what you want to do, or what you're doing is dope, and how you go about it too. Like you're patient. I can see that.
That's part of that's game too. That's major game. Like money is patience. Like that shit is synonymous. So if you're like on somebody, like, hey, we gotta do this deal, we gotta do this deal, it's gonna, you know, it's just not
Not the way to go. It's annoying.
It's just not, yeah, and it's not the level of service. Like people who have money and have things, like you said, like we gods and stuff, right? Like Robert Greene said, the gods have nothing but time.
Right.
In his book 48 Laws of Power. So he was like, the gods have nothing but time because they rule everything already. So why am I rushing you?
Exactly. I'm gonna trust the process, not rush the process.
I write that shit down. That's cold. Now I'm writing shit down. I knew you was gonna get me. I knew she was gonna get me. God damn. Trust the process, not rush the process.
Right, and don't let nothing make you rush it either, because it's gonna be scrabble.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, you want it to be perfect. You want to perfect your craft. Excuse me.
All right.
Wow, it's 11:26.
Yeah, I'm finna get out of here.
Yeah.
Get up early. Yeah.
It was fun though.
Oh
I
yeah.
get used to this.
What? This is boring. This is fucking papers and shit.
Boring? Come on. Not boring.
It's not boring.
No. You don't come across this. Like really talking about stuff. And I'm not talking about what's on social media and what happened last night on whatever show, some reality.
Whatever the fuck. I don't know what happened last night.
Don't remember? What were you doing? Sleep?
Not on social media.
Nah, I'm messing with you. Oh no, seriously. Like this is fun. Because if it wasn't, you wouldn't be right here. You would not be right here.
Word. So I mean, yeah. I mean, this is how you talk to people with money. This is how they want to be engaged, and they want to have fun too. But before all you get to that fun shit, they want to know that somebody is like they're serious. You know what I'm saying? So once I fulfill a project for you, you coming back to me, because once I get you one time, you're coming back like a fiend. You know.
doubt.
Because trust is very important. Like we said, time. An aspect of time is who are you going to trust.
Right.
So it's like I said in my initial email to you, I was like, hey, look, no one wants to trust their money to a whole bunch of random motherfuckers, a whole bunch of random people. Like, if you're gonna do this real estate shit, be sharp with it. Know a lot. Even you can generalize in things, but just because you know something, you know of something, you have an ability to tap into that knowledge at a later time.
Right.
So you don't have to understand everything yourself right away. If you have somebody to reach out to who is a professional and highly educated and all that bullshit, right? I educated myself, you know what I'm saying? But like,
that's dope.
I appreciate that. So like, if you have people to reach out to, you know what I'm saying? You have access to their knowledge, and that's what's important. I'm strong because I have access to other people's knowledge. So if this is my like basic knowledge and shit, and I'm working with other people to get my shit done, like imagine, you know what I'm saying, you know, how big this shit is, and like, you know what I'm saying, how big but small, like contained, like compact. Like this shit is like a fucking a scheme. You feel me? It ain't a scam, it's a scheme.
And a scam?
It ain't a scam, it's a scheme.
I was gonna say, how is it a scam?
It's a scheme, you feel me? It's a plot, it's a plan, it's a definite plan of action with real fucking results. It's not no fucking bullshit. Like I'm making sure people are clear, you know what I'm saying? So before, and I might not even want you as a client. I might not even want to take you on. Why should I take you on as a client? Why should I work with you?
You don't want to?
No, I'm saying like why I might not want to. Why should I? You know?
Right.
So I'm looking at shit like that, like, cause I know my value. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, I mean, you could be paying for it all you want, but like, shit, why should I take you on as a client?
Right.
Who are you? You know? And that's how you got to treat people. With money. You gotta treat them plain.
Right. Just because they got all that money doesn't mean. I mean, you need the money, but why do I need it?
Right. Right. You need the money, but you might not need it from them. Who says you need it from them?
Exactly.
And you might be fucking starving, but you don't let them know that.
Exactly.
You keep that shit on lock. You feel me? You're here to provide. See, part of the service that you provide is the perception and the image that you provide it with. So
that's true.
It's like, like you can go to a 3-star restaurant and order a steak, and it's like a steak on a plate or whatever. And then you can go to like a fancy ass restaurant. It's the same fucking steak, but it's just decorated differently. You're like, wow, this is fucking phenomenal. This is amazing. This tastes so fucking amazing. Oh my God, is that, you just having a fucking blast, but it's the same shit. The parent company owns the same manufacturer. They use the same manufacturers to get their meat. You know what I'm saying? So like Root Steakhouse or whatever uses the same fucking as Morton's. So it's like, it's the same shit because they all trying to cut their costs. So it's like, it's just it's how you decorate, how you dress it up, So if I approach a motherfucker on the street in a hoodie just wearing some street clothes and shit, you would have never known that I am who I am and that I know what I know. You know what I'm saying? So
can't judge a book by its cover.
No, you can't. You can never do that. But since I'm gonna be famous, I guess I'm fucked in that department.
Why do you say that?
Because I ain't gonna be able to blend in if I'm gonna be famous.
You can definitely blend in. Trust me, it's a lot of famous that be out there that don't know that they're famous. Like I could walk down the street and be like, "What? That was a famous person?"
This happened before.
You'd be surprised.
A lot of these famous people be driving like Nissans and regular cars and shit when they move around. So it's like you don't even look like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? Nigga be in there with Rick Ross with all those chains on and shit. You in the motherfucking, regular ass Toyota or whatever. Like what the fuck? You're not even thinking twice, So you're not even like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what it is. So that's the game, for the day and stuff. And if you want me to get like real, like intensive in terms of like really helping you, like like I'm gonna say master because I'm not a master of real estate, but I'm a master of being a generalist in real estate. So being a generalist is, man, I can tell you, you know, I can put you on to like 1031 exchanges, and I have to go back and look up the definition of that, but I can break that down and help you to understand the value of like what it means, because I don't specialize in that. That's not my thing. I don't do that every day. I got people around me that do that shit every day, but I can make it clear for you so that you have like a clearer path, you know. And if you want to like I don't know if you want to like pick certain focused, streams of time where you want to like really, really work on your knowledge of this. You know what I'm saying? I can definitely help you out for a small fee.
Word.
You
I'm
know?
down. Because
Okay.
I just need help with the approach. Like, I can obtain the knowledge, like, and memorize the terms and all that, but no one can teach me how to talk to a seller or talk to an investor, Like, yeah, I can watch YouTube videos all day long, but it's like, I need to practice it. Like, but how would I know how to do that if I don't know what to say,
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I need help with.
I mean, where do you think you're at right now in your learning? I mean, like, are you ready, like, for me to be like active working with you? I don't think you're ready for that, but if you think you're ready, it's a different. Then we'll have another conversation at a later time. But you just want to learn on your own right now, or?
Yeah, because I'm like comfortable with what I'm doing now. Like, I figured out my own routine. Like I figured that out myself. It's just more of me trying to apply myself to go out there and start talking.
So get in people's faces.
Yeah.
That's what I love to do. Like I have my antisocial times, but like I love getting in people's faces. You know what I'm saying? I love getting in front of people because I've been stuck in the house so long. Like
Same.
research, training, learning like a fucking maniac. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm able to get in front of people and crowds, like I make it lit because it's really me. I'm trying to unload my shit. Like I'm trying to unload. They don't understand. Like I've been stuck. I've been cooped up. You feel me? Because I've been working through the process so that you don't have to come and repeat the shit I did. You feel me? You just come in and just, you feel me?
Exactly.
Even though it probably won't go like in your perception, but in my perception it will because you didn't have to do all the foundational, all that kind of stuff. You just get it fresh and clear. So
yeah, that's what I need help with.
Okay. So like what do you think would be like comfortable for you? Because what I thought was like this is what I was thinking. Like if you needed to like reach out to me, like if you were like actively, because it sounds like you're learning on your own, So if you wanted to like, if you were like picking up speed and you're like, hey, I need my information faster, and I really want, you want me to focus on you and really help you. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think? Because what I'm thinking is like $140 a month.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. You feel comfortable paying that?
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you think in terms of like communication? Because I do have a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah. So, but I love it. You know what I'm saying? It's all good, and I really enjoyed, this collab. Like 7 hours now.
Wow.
So, it's crazy. So, yeah, like I mean, like.
I want to say when I get more comfortable with feeling like I know more than I need to, then I think I'll be ready.
That's what I
Because I
figured.
mean, it only makes sense.
Right.
Like,
Perfect.
I'm not gonna just go out there and just sound dumb. Like, wait,
Right.
I want to know my information, and that's what I'm doing. I'm like, getting information, trying to memorize it, and then apply it.
Exactly. There you go. Excellent. All right. Well, shit. That sounds like a fucking plan. So you just let me know when you like, hey, Brian, I need to get real. I don't know what to call it,
Down and dirty.
but if you really want to get like, intense and high involved in this filming, and just you want me to just, you feel me, like, hey, I'm dealing with this specific, situation. This person said this, and then like, if you really want me to like, get real focused, other than that, you know what I'm saying, like, we could do like a collab like every now and then. I can't do them like every week or even every month or whatever, but like every so often. You know what I'm saying? And then you got my number and shit, so you can hit me up and let me know how you doing and keep me updated with your progress.
I got your number, I got your email, got it all.
You got one of my numbers and one of my emails. Calm down.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, this is good. Oh my God.
All right. So basically, what I would do is this is gonna convert, and then I could post this, I guess, on YouTube. I can make it public, I can make it private, whatever you want.
I'm cool. Public.
All right, cool. All right, let's do it.
Do it.
All right, and then you know how much game we just gave away for free for the two?
For free.
Like, yo, you put in some work. Like, yo, I got some shit. I got some notes. I'm gonna watch this too. I'm gonna run this back. You know what I'm saying? Because you were saying some stuff.
Oh, thanks. That's right.
Yeah. Nah, you doing it, man. You doing it. So.
That's what's up.
All right. So, we'll figure something out some other time, I guess, and then I'll let you know when this is up.
Oh, I hit that subscribe button. I would know. I would definitely know. It's gonna pop on my phone.
Word. All right, cool.
Yeah. What you thought? We were gonna hit that subscribe button? Come on.
All right,
Better
cool.
than that.
All right, definitely. So, I'll leave it to you, shawty. I'll leave you to it.
All right. Well, it was fun while I lasted.
What's that about? Wow, it lasted.
Yeah, because we're about to like end.
We've been on the phone for like 7 hours.
I don't think it was 7. No.
Well, you think about it, it's me and you spending time. You feel me?
Oh yeah, you're right.
So, and
I have to remember that.
And then also when you're setting up those meetings with your staff of 20, you got to remember, like, it takes time for them to prepare just to have that meeting. You know what I'm saying? So it might take them each an hour just to prepare to get to the meeting. You feel me? So that's like 40 hours you're spending on just that one meeting. So it gets deeper and deeper and shit. But if you can drive yourself crazy with it. But ultimately, the concept is that, this is why you want to have a high level of organization, and you want to make sure that the process is effective, in actually overcoming your challenge. That's the number one thing,
Agreed.
All right. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, cool. I'm cool. You feel me? I'm good.
I'm tired now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
It's almost my bedtime. 12:15.
Okay, so we right on time then.
I know. You passed your bedtime.
Yeah. Yeah, I am. So.
All right. Signing out. I said we're signing out.
Yeah, we signing off. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to say, if the subscribers made it this long, which they fucking won't unless they skipped, you feel me? Hey, Y'all motherfuckers is crazy if you watch this shit. You feel me?
Nah, you're not crazy.
And we forgot about y'all. We got lost in the sauce over here. You feel me? We forgot about y'all. We forgot about YouTube. Y'all was left a long ass time ago. You feel me? So look out for the next video. You can follow Sarah. Her channel will be tagged in the description below. And you already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? We want to come up, we want to blow up. You know what I'm saying? We finna get these M's. And we not fucking around. You know?
Nah.
Niggas invested, you know, years into this shit. You feel me? So this is what we gonna do. You know? This is what we gonna do. So alright, you know. Bye YouTube. Peace out. You know. Oh, she left me with the wave. Oh, sick. All right. All right, what's up? All right, let's get off this thing. You feel me?
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dabbing out.
Dabbing the fuck out of this bitch. You feel me?
Yes.
I'll hop in the bed. All right, shawty. Peace.